From Doran Park in Bourne, Massachusetts, this is Braves Baseball alongside Jordan Palacio. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. It's now a three-game losing streak for the Braves after an 8-6 loss last night against the Cotuit Kettleers and Joran. Bourne still has that fourth spot in the West, but it feels like it's slipping.
Yeah, they've definitely opened the door for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. They had the opportunity, of course, in that doubleheader, Sam, to go up by as many as 11 points. Getting swept by Hyannis has brought the teams within 3 points of each other, with the Braves sitting at 14 and the Harbor Hawks at 11. And it feels like just 2 or 3 games could really be all that differs between these two teams. It looks like it's going to be a neck-and-neck race for the entire season, and the Braves have to put that doubleheader behind them and now go out and get some wins, and that includes a game like tonight against Falmouth.
Now, Cody Morissette with another big game for the Braves last night, knocking in 3 runs on a ninth-inning RBI double. He has now 8 RBIs in his past 5 games. How has he uplifted this lineup that was struggling in the first part of the summer?
Well, it's huge because you lose guys like Alika Williams, who was hitting near 300 before he left for the summer for Team USA, and you had Alec Burleson, who was also hitting at a pretty high clip, even though when he left, he was hitting pretty low in terms of average. When it comes to Cody Morissette, he's on a 4-game hit streak. He's got RBIs in 4 out of his last 5 games. He's really replaced and stepped into that role in the middle infield. Doesn't usually play short like Alika Williams did, but he's big at second base now for this Braves team.
The red-hot Falmouth Commodores come to Doran Park after winning 6 of their past 7, including a walk-off home run last night from Taylor Smith. How can the Braves put a halt on this winning stretch for Falmouth?
It's 2 things, and it's going to sound really easy when I say them to you, Sam. It's great starting pitching and consistent hitting, and those have been 2 things that the Braves really haven't been able to put together the entire season. We've seen them recently being able to get the backs working, scoring at least 4 or more runs in their past 3 games. However, they've lost all 3 games, and if you told me you score 8 runs against Hyannis, you're probably going to win that game, but they didn't. If Mac Larner can go out today, throw solid 5 or 6 innings, only giving up 1 or 2 runs, and if the Braves can get the bats going, really capitalize on their base runners, I think they're going to have a great chance to win here tonight.
All right, starting lineups and first pitch from Doran Park, the Falmouth Commodores against the Bourne Braves. You're watching Bourne Braves Baseball on YouTube. Welcome back to Durham Park. Let's take a look at how the Falmouth Commodores, the visiting Commodores, line up here tonight against the Bourne Braves. Hayden Cantrell will lead it off, batting in the first spot, playing second base. Blake Dunn in the second spot. Zach DeLoach batting in the three. Trey Cruz in the cleanup. Troy Clonch batting fifth. Taylor Smith with that walk-off home run. He's batting sixth. Steven Moretto, Jackson Coots, and Tim Tawa will round out the lineup for the Commodores. And Joran on the mound for the Braves. It's Mac Lardner coming off a pretty solid start against Wareham.
Yeah, he is. He got the win in that start against the Gatemen back on the 1st of July through 6 innings, only giving up 1 run off of 6 hits on the year. A 1-1 record, an ERA of 1.2 in his 3 starts, 15 innings pitched. Not a big strikeout guy, Sam, only 9 on the year, but he's only giving up 2 earned runs all season long, and the Braves really going to be looking at him to go and throw 5 or 6 very strong innings.
Defensively for the Braves, behind the plate will be Jackson Greer. At first, it's Kay Beloso. Second, Jared Poland. Shortstop is going to be Cody Morris. At third base, Xavier Warren. And left, it's Brendan Rivoli. Center field, Judd Fabian. And right field is Kyler Fedko. You might notice a missing name in that infield. It's Jimmy Glowenke, who has the night off in the field. He'll be DHing for tonight's ball game. As Morissette moves over to short, Jared Poland gets his second start at the second base position. And that rounds out the fielding side of things for the Bourne Braves as they finish up their infield warm-ups. Hayden Cantrell will lead it off for the Falmouth Commodores. He comes up with a hot average, batting .348 on the season, 12 RBIs for him, 4 doubles, 3 home runs. He's got 23 hits in 66 at-bats. A danger from the top of this lineup. He'll be the first batter to face Mac Lardner. Lardner, the lefty out of Gonzaga, into his windup. The first pitch of the ball game is smacked over into left field, and Hayden Cantrell, in one swing of the bat, is on with a single.
There's a reason he hits for such a high average, and he just showed it right there. First pitch swinging, knew he was going to get fastball, and he took that into left field, and have to watch out for him on the base paths here, Sam. 10 stolen bases on the year.
And Blake Dunn, batting in the second spot, he comes up right now, also has 10 stolen bases on the year. So almost a guaranteed thing for Cantrell to be running over at first. Mac Lardner gives him a stare down. Here's the first pitch to Blake Dunn. He fouls off back toward the backstop. 0-1.
For this Commodores team, we've seen the bats be red hot and also go quiet. We've seen them score over 10 runs, but only getting 3 last night against Harwich.
Blake Dunn with a .298 average, 17 for 57 on the season. The 0-1 is outside and low from Lardner. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Braves come into this game with a 4-6 home record after losing last night against conference rival Catuit. Lardner comes set. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Dunn. He swings at it and fouls it off on the first base side into the seats. He's now down 1-2.
Yeah, this is a big out to get already here. Only the second batter in the game, and Lardner already with his back against the wall because you have Zach DeLoach on deck in the 3 spots. Real key here to not give up another base hit and have multiple runners on base for DeLoach.
DeLoach, the leading hitter in the Cape League, a .377 average. 1-2 is hit off the end of the bat. Ground ball over to second. Pulling the flip over to Morissette, covering second. And they're able to get Cantrell. Dunn reaches on the fielder's choice, so that's the first out of the inning. And Dunn's over at first.
Yeah, not a ton that Jared Poland could do. It was a slowly hit ground ball. By the time he got it, it would have been almost smarter for him to go to first base. He kind of rolled the dice on the throw to second. He was able to get Cantrell out at that second base bag, and Morissette didn't even throw the ball to first base because there was no point. Dunn was already there.
So now it's Zach DeLoach. We mentioned his numbers, .377 average. That leads the entire league coming into this game. Lardner comes set. The lefty looks over at first. Now the first pitch to DeLoach is a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike 1.
Yeah, strength versus strength here. Lardner, statistically, the best pitcher right now for the Braves with that ERA at 1.2 over his 3 starts, going up against the best hitter in the league.
Lardner comes set. Looks over at first. The 0-1 is a check swing that DeLoach did go around on. Now he falls behind 0-2, and Dunn getting a little fancy on the base paths. Faked like he was stealing and then went back over to first. Dunn also with 10 steals, Falmouth, the leading team in the Cape League with 42 stolen bases. Next closest is YD with 33. They love to take trips around the base paths. Here's the 0-2, and Lardner throws it back over to first with Kate Beloso covering. The Falmouth Commodores, 11-8-1 is their record. They've won 6 of the past 7. A big walk-off home run last night against Harwich to get that win 3-2. The 0-2 bounces in the dirt outside. Jackson Greer has to reach for it. It's now a 1-2 count on Deloach.
Yeah, and we've heard that Jeff Trundy necessarily not pulling the strings over there on the base pass. He's just kind of letting his guys do their own thing out there on the bases. More often than not, is hands off, and he lets guys like Cantrell and Dunn run freely.
Lardner comes set. The 1-2 pitch to Deloach is a fastball just missing the zone. He looked for a call on the outside part of the plate. That'll even up the count 2-2.
Yeah, good pitch there from Lardner. Must have missed just outside, and now on 2-2, you have to come with another good pitch here because on 3-2, I think it's pretty likely that Dunn moves over at first base.
Lardner looks over at Dunn at first. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed by Deloach. It's the first strikeout of the game for Mac Lardner and the second out of the inning.
And he fooled him there with the off-speed pitch. The changeup there got Deloach way out in front. That ball was barely being caught by Jackson Greer by the time Deloach finished his swing. That's a big strikeout for Lardner and a big second out.
There's Trey Cruz out of Rice University, a rising junior. 3.08 average coming into this game. Has a home run, a triple, 3 doubles in 19 games he's played this season for the Commodores. And Blake Dunn is going on the first pitch. It's fouled off first base side for Trey Cruz and out of play. A hit and run we see there for the Commodores. 0-1.
And I believe the Commodores have all swung at the first pitch offered by Lardner. They are now 4 for 4 going after that first pitch. Not going to let anything really go by them for free.
Trey Cruz playing shortstop for the Commodores today. Lardner comes set. Dunn over at first. Here's the 0-1 delivery. It's an off-speed that is fouled over on the third base line and out of play. Trey Cruz now down in the count 0-2.
And Lardner, we know on his fastball, if he gets lucky every once in a while, he might touch 90, but he's more 86 to 89 type of pitcher. Not going to blow you away with speed, so let's see how he goes with this 0-2 waste pitch.
0-2. Inside. Work the fastball. 1-2. Trey Cruz coming off a dismal 0-for-5 performance last night against Harwich. He struck out twice. He's been hitless in his past 2 games. 1-2 is low. Jackson Greer slides to block it. Evens up now 2-2.
Missed both times with a fastball, and then it looked like maybe a changeup there. Both missed low. I think he's going to come in with that slider here, 2-2, try and break it off, find the inside corner.
Looks over at Dunn at first. Now the 2-2 delivery is blasted to right center field. Moving back on is Judd Fabian. He's called off by Kyler Fedko, who makes the out in right center field. The Falmouth Commodores on 1 hit, no runs. Still a 0-0 game. We head to the bottom half of the first. You're watching Bourne Braves Baseball on YouTube. 0-0 score heading to the bottom of the first inning. Let's look at how the Bourne Braves line up here in this bottom of the first. Judd Fabian will lead it off for the Braves, playing center. Xavier Warren at third. Cade Beloso in that 3 spot. He's at first. Jimmy Glowenke, the DH tonight. Jackson Greer, the catching. Cody Morissette in that 6 spot. We know how hot he's been. Kyler Fedko in right. Jared Poland at second. And Brendan Rivoli will round out this lineup. And Jordan, they're facing a pitcher that this Braves team has already seen, Chris Gonzalez.
Yeah, Chris Gonzalez has pitched 3 times so far this season. And in that game against the Bravos back on June 15, just the 3rd game of the season, he picked up the loss in that one, only went 3 2/3 innings, giving up 5 runs off of 6 hits. One of those, of course, Xavier Warren's home run. Overall in the season, he's 0-1 with a 10.12 ERA and just 10 innings pitched, 14 strikeouts, but 16 hits. And the Braves bats have been hot the last couple games, Sam. Let's see if they can take advantage of this matchup here against the very hit-happy Gonzalez.
7 or more hits for the Bourne Braves in each of their past 5 games as Judd Fabian steps into the box to face the lefty Chris Gonzalez. Here's the first pitch delivery to Judd Fabian. It's inside on the fastball, 1-0. Fabian coming off a 1-for-5 performance with a double last night. An RBI, a run scored, 2 strikeouts versus the Kettleers. The 1-0 is flied out to shallow right field. Zach DeLoach staying in his spot right there, gets under it, and he'll put it away for a 2-pitch first out of the inning.
And this is going to be really important here. This at-bat, it was Xavier Warren who hit that home run that started the onslaught in that game earlier this season. He's batting from the right side here. This is a big confidence at-bat for Chris Gonzalez up there on the hill.
Well, this is the first time we've seen Xavier Warren bat from the right side in quite a while. He's faced a lot of right-handed pitchers working that left side. He's homered from both sides of the plate this season as he faces Chris Gonzalez for the first time. Here's the first pitch to Warren. Inside, moves his legs out of the way, and watches ball 1. Warren, a .250 average. A team leading 14 RBIs, 4 runs scored on the year, 17 strikeouts. Was 0-for-5 with 2 strikeouts against the Kettleers last night. 1-0 is off speed in the zone for a strike, 1-1.
And Warren there saw a couple of pitches, fastball that almost hit him right on top of the feet. And there he saw an off speed that came in right on the inside half.
Here's the 1-1 from Gonzalez. It's off speed yet again and low. Xavier Warren watches it for a ball, 2-1.
We know how streaky Xavier Warren is after a few good games in a row, went hitless last night.
2-1. Warren watches a fastball outside, and the count evens up 2-2 through 4 pitches. Xavier Warren has not had anything to offer. Had a 3 RBI performance in the second game against Hyannis. Here's the 2-2. Inside, that hits him right on the front left foot, and Xavier Warren is the first base runner for the Braves after he gets hit from the pitch from Chris Gonzalez.
Yeah, not only does that hurt, that's also a dangerous spot to get hit. That hit, it looked like quite literally right on top of the shoelaces where that would be on your foot. And hey, there's a lot of bones there. It's easy to break a bone right on top of the foot. It looks like he's okay. Really didn't limp it off too much. Now here comes Cade Beloso.
Cade Beloso playing in his 12th game. He's reached base safely in the previous 11 games he's played in. 0-for-3 with 2 walks and a strikeout against the Kettleers. Here's the first pitch to him. It's a breaking ball that lands in the zone, 0-1. Beloso, a high .323 average, has gotten off to a hot start in his stint for the Bourne Braves so far. 10-for-31. Has a home run, 1 RBI. The 0-1 is off speed and breaks right into the zone. Beloso's down 0-2.
Yeah, and Gonzalez is lucky that that's the first time Beloso's seen that curveball. That hung up there in the zone. If Beloso had seen what that looked like before, I think he might be still rounding the bases.
Lefty on lefty matchup. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Cade Beloso gets a bat on it over into shallow left field. That ball will fall in front of Tim Tawa and left for the first hit for the Braves. Cade Beloso gets on. He extends that reach base safely streak to 12, and the Braves have runners on first and second.
He's the base magnet, I'm telling you. 0-2 pitch. He fights it off right in on the hands. Probably was going to be a ball, but he shoots it out to shallow left center field. A little bloop single that does the job, and Jimmy Glowenke has the opportunity to make something happen here.
Glowenke comes up with runners on first and second, just 1 out in the inning. Glowenke with 5 RBIs during the summer so far, a 1-for-3 game last night, scored 2 runs, walked twice, and struck out twice against the Kettleers. He faces Gonzalez for the first time. The first pitch is off speed that Glowenke swings at way out in front of. Starts him off 0-1. Gonzalez last pitching on July 2nd against Brewster. 4 1/3 there. 3 earned runs on 5 hits. Every start he's gotten better in terms of earned runs. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Glowenke. Hard swing and a miss yet again on another off-speed pitch. And Glowenke's down 0-2.
Yeah, big swing there on the off speed from Gonzalez. And if I'm Gonzalez here, trying to get a ground ball, that my next pitch, unless I'm wasting it way up above Glowenke's head, I'm keeping that thing right at the knees and really forcing a ground ball.
Warren over at second, Beloso at first, Jimmy Glowenke at the plate. The 0-2 pitch is a breaking ball that's just 2 outside on Glowenke. First ball of the at-bat, 1-2.
That was a good pitch there. Off speed, just missed the black on the outside corner, just about little over the knees, about thigh high there from Gonzalez. Let's see where he goes. I think probably fastball down and in here at 1-2.
1 out, 0-0 score, bottom of the first inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Glowenke. It's outside, gets past Trey Clonch, the catcher, and both runners will move up 90 feet. The throw over to second is not in time. Beloso slides in safely. Xavier Warren gets to third, and now there's 2 runners in scoring position for the Braves with just 1 out, and now a 2-2 count on Glowenke.
Yeah, that's huge right there. Wild pitch there. I think there is some miscommunication between Gonzalez and his catcher because the catcher Clonch was set up inside. Pitch went way outside, and no matter how good of a catcher you are, you're not going to reach a pitch that misses the zone by that much. And he got a little lucky that the ball bounced straight back to him, but double play now is dead, and Glowenke with a base hit here could have 2 RBIs out there waiting for him.
And now Troy Clonch having a meeting with Gonzalez. He allowed 5 earned runs in his first start, 4 in his second start against YD, and, of course, 3 in the last start on July 2nd against Brewster. The 2-2 pitch is barely just chopped on and fouled off by Glowenke. He stays in the at-bat. Braves threatening early with runners on second and third, and just 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. 1 hit for either team so far. Glowenke back in the box. Gonzalez comes set. Here's the windup in the pitch. The 2-2 is skied out to right field. Zach DeLoach is under it, jogs in a little bit. He catches it. Xavier Warren is heading toward home. The throw home to the plate with Clonch is not in time. Xavier Warren slides in safely. It's an RBI sac fly for Jimmy Glowenke and the Braves. On top first, it's 1-0.
And that was a good piece of hitting there from Jimmy Glowenke. Hit the ball just deep enough. Zach DeLoach gave a good throw. A little unlucky on the bounce. The ball took 2 hops on its way to the plate, and that second hop, instead of bouncing up, more so went toward the plate, kind of low to the ground, and it pulled Clonch just off the plate by the time he had the ball and whipped around to try and make the tag on Warren. He was already under it, and the Braves starting out hot here, Sam, 1-0.
Jackson Greer now onto the plate. The Braves also started off with a 1-0 lead last night against the Kettleers. Ended up losing that game 8-6. A 6-run 5th inning for Katuitt. First pitch to Jackson Greer is off speed and outside. Cade Beloso still over at third, so 2 outs in the inning. Another run 90 feet away for Jackson Greer, who has been a threat offensively to many teams. His third Cape team he's played on. The 1-0 is swung on and missed. 1-1.
The self-proclaimed Cape free agent, Sam.
He is. Played 4 games for Harwich, just 1 pitch for White, or 1 game for YD. That's .250 for Bourne right now. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him, and he skies that ball to left field. Tim Tawa is moving to his right side by the line, and he'll make the play for the final out of the inning. But Jimmy Glowenke gets an RBI on a sac fly, scoring Xavier Warren, and the Braves lead it 1-0 as we head to the top of the second inning. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Braves start off with an early lead, 1-0 after 1 inning, heading to the top of the second. It'll be Troy Claunch, Taylor Smith, and Steven Moretto all due up for the Falmouth Commodores as Claunch heads to the box. 219 average for him in 9 games played for the Commodores. A rising junior out of Oregon State. 7 hits on the year, 1 double, a home run to go with that, 4 RBIs. He struck out 7 times and walked once, so he faces Mac Lardner for the first time, who allowed 1 hit coming from Hayden Cantrell. And that was it through the first inning. Lardner in the windup. Here's the first pitch. It's a half swing. Troy Claunch went around for the first strike, 0-1.
Yeah, and Lardner working a pretty efficient first inning, only facing 4 batters, and he'll take that every single inning if it's offered to him.
The 0-1 is inside from Lardner. 1-1. Claunch last played 2 nights ago against Brewster, where he went 1 for 4 with a home run, 3 RBIs, a 3-run shot in that game. The 1-1 is swung on and missed on a low pitch from Lardner, 1-2.
And Lardner is very good at getting ahead in counts, and that's something that's very, very critical, especially when you're facing a team like Falmouth who's red hot and is swinging the bat well.
1-2. Claunch watches it inside. Lardner doesn't get the call. He stays in his position on the mound for a little bit, a little shocked. And that evens up the count, 2-2.
Yeah, pitch missed a little bit high there. I thought it was a ball as well.
2-2. Claunch got him swinging at a ball in the dirt. The throw down to first on the drop third from Jackson Greer is in time to get Claunch, and it's 1 up, 1 down for Mac Lardner, his second strikeout on the evening.
Yeah, couldn't write it any better than that. And Lardner, who's not typically what we've seen a strikeout guy so far this season for the Braves, just picked up his 11th K. He's already got 2 through 1 1/3 inning here, Sam.
Lardner with 3 strikeouts in his win against Wareham. We thought that was high. He already has his second strikeout of the game so far, and now Taylor Smith will come up for his first at-bat since his walk-off home run last night. First pitch he watches is a fastball from Lardner on the low and outside corner for a strike.
Taylor Smith obviously riding off that momentum, looking to carry it over into this game here today.
0-1. Smith, a hard swinging strike, and Lardner's stuff is working. That was a breaking ball. 0-2 now. Smith with 4 home runs on the year, 7 RBIs. Of course, ended the game last night. That was his only hit of the affair. The 0-2 from the lefty Lardner is high and outside. Did he go around? He did not. A check swing from Smith. Appeal over to first base umpire Mike Hinjosa. Did not go around. Now a 1-2 count. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Mac Lardner gets his 3rd strikeout, a pitch that was low on Taylor Smith. Mac Lardner gets the call, and it's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, and he is feeling it himself out there right now on the mound, Sam. Back-to-back strikeouts. This one looking against a hot hitter in Taylor Smith. Has the opportunity here to strike out the side here against Steven Moretto.
Lardner staring down Moretto. He had 4 strikeouts in his first ever start this season against Orleans as Moretto will sky one first base side, curving foul. And it does fall among the seats. 0-1, Moretto the third baseman today. And for Lardner, his highest strikeout count was his first start, 4 against Orleans in a 2-1 victory on June 16th. As he's in the windup, here's the 0-1 pitch on Moretto. And it's outside for a ball, 1-1. 2 strikeouts against YD on June 24th and a 2-0 loss. And, of course, 3 in his last start against Wareham, where he went 6 innings. 1-1 is inside on Moretto, bounces in the dirt. Jackson Greer picks it up. 2-1 count.
Lardner is working very quickly here, very efficiently. As soon as he gets the ball, he's already got his feet back on the rubber and ready to go.
2-1. A fastball just outside. And Moretto is ahead in the count. Now 3-1.
And let's see what Lardner decides to do here. 3-1, going to go fastball.
3-1, Moretto off the end of the bat. Bouncer over to Cade Beloso at first. It is fair as it lands on the line. Beloso takes it and tags first base, and the Falmouth Commodores go down in order. No runs, no hits for Falmouth. We head to the bottom half of the second. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Cody Morissette will lead it off for the Braves in the bottom of the second inning, a 1-0 lead that Bourne has after a sac fly from Jimmy Glowenke in the bottom of the first inning. And Morissette on a hot streak right now. 1 hit in 8 of his last 9 games, a 5-game hit streak, and 8 RBIs in his last 5. He was 2 for 4 with a bottom of the ninth double, scoring 3 runs against Katuitt last night. First pitch is a breaking ball that lands just inside of the zone, 1-0.
That pitch has a ton of movement on it. That pitch started up near Morissette's head, dropped down right at the belt.
1-0 from Chris Gonzalez. Morissette will fly it over in the shallow left field area. Tim Tawa moving in on it, waiting for it to fall, and it lands right in the glove for the first out of the inning. Morissette is retired.
There's not a great pitch to hit right there. Breaking ball, just got under a little bit, had the opportunity to drive it into that left center field gap, just missed it, and you can see he's kind of kicking himself as he walks back into the dugouts here with the first down on the bottom of the second.
Kyler Fedko steps up. I was talking to Cody Morissette before the game, and I really just asked him what's changed because the start of the season was so dismal for him. The first pitch to Kyler Fedko is roped down the third base line, just going foul. 0-1. He said he had a conversation with his coach, and not only his coaches, but his parents. That really just calmed him down, relaxed him, and he's just been able to go on this tear that he has been over his last 9 games. Gonzalez in the windup. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Fedko. It's another off speed outside of the zone. It's a 1-1 count now on the Braves right fielder who comes into this game batting 161, struggling at the plate, 12 strikeouts as the 1-1 is skied over in the second base area. Cantrell moving over. He will put it away for the second out of the inning. 2 flyouts for 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, 2 quick outs, which is big for Chris Gonzalez. We know that he's been liable to give up a lot of runs, so the quicker he can get through this lineup, the better for him. And the further he can go into this game, only giving up that 1 run.
Here's Jared Poland. Last batted in a game against Harwich where he went 1 for 4 with an RBI. 300 average, 3 for his first 10 during his stay on the summer so far. First pitch is outside from Gonzalez, 1-0. Poland also a pitcher as well, where he last pitched in the first game against Hyannis a few days ago. The 1-0 pitch is outside from Gonzalez, and he starts Poland off 2-0.
Jared Poland out of Louisville has seen a lot of playing time, just not exactly in the same locations. Played second base a couple times and also has made a couple appearances up on the hill.
2-0. Poland watches a fastball on the bottom part of the zone, 2-1. Poland, originally the number 4 prospect coming out of Indiana, now going to Louisville. The 2-1 pitch is hit right back up the middle, but Hayden Cantrell moves to his right side at second base, throws it to first, and gets Poland out in time. The Braves go down in order. No runs, no hits in the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 lead for the Bourne Braves as we head to the third. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Top of the third inning, Braves with a 1-0 lead after a Jimmy Glowacki sac fly in the bottom of the first inning. Jackson Coots will lead it off for the Falmouth Commodores. It'll be 8-9-1 due up. Coots coming in, playing in his 10th game of the season, playing first base today, 276 average from the University of Rhode Island. First pitch from Mac Lardner is a fastball that catches the outside corner, 0-1. Coots actually teammates with Braves closer Tyler Brocious.
The submarine.
Yeah. 0-1 from Lardner. And Coots watches a beautiful breaking ball fall right in the zone. He's now down 0-2.
And we've seen this quite a lot today from Lardner, really getting ahead in counts and making the hitters come from behind.
0-2 pitch to Coots is upstairs. Jackson Greer raises in the catcher position to catch it, 1-2.
Yeah, it's a classic waste pitch right there. Go fastball up high, and the higher you throw it, the harder it is for the hitter to catch up with it.
Mac Lardner in the windup. Now the 1-2 pitch is grounded right over to Jared Poland at second. Fields it, throw to first, and Jackson Coots is retired for the first out of the inning. Poland gets a little bit of action over at second base after pitching a few nights ago, getting his first action at second since the Katuitt game last week. And now it's Tim Tawa to round out the lineup for the Falmouth Commodores.
Yeah, and Tawa from Stanford, teammates with Nick Bruiser, only just 200 on the year.
First pitch, Tawa chops over to short. Cody Morissette moving in will make the play. Throw to first is just in time to be able to retire Tim Tawa, and it's a quick 2 outs for Mac Lardner on the mound.
Yeah, and that's huge. You go through the first part of the order only with one more batter than the minimum. He only faced 9 batters in the first 2 3/3 out of a possible could have been a lot higher of a number, especially with some help defensively from guys like Cody Morissette over at shortstop.
Here's Hayden Cantrell back to the top of the lineup. Got his first hit against the Braves this summer in the first inning when he singled. First pitch is a breaking ball in the zone, 0-1. And Cantrell was previously 0 for 9 against the Braves, went 0 for 5 in the first game and 0 for 4 in a matchup on June 29th. The 0-1 is grounded over to Poland, who's charging in, gloves it, throw to first is in time, and the speedy Cantrell is retired. The Falmouth Commodores go down in order in the top of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1-0 lead for the Bourne Braves as we head to the bottom half. You're watching Bourne Braves baseball on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. (9-1-2) due up for the Bourne Braves in the bottom of the third inning. The Braves have a 1-0 lead. It'll be Brendan Rivoli leads off, and Jordan, it might have been a loss for the Braves on the scoreboard, but last night was a big win for Brendan Rivoli.
Yeah, Brendan Rivoli really got his season back on track last night. I know his average, when it appears to the eyes, it's a big-time eyesore. It's pretty brutal to look at, but big RBI double in that game last night against Katuitt. Really, you hope that just resets that confidence.
First pitch from Chris Gonzalez to Rivoli is inside and actually hits him on the elbow. So Rivoli will be headed over to first with a leadoff hit by pitch. The second time on the season he's been hit by a pitch, and it's a leadoff base runner for the Braves. Rivoli last night, it was a pinch hit appearance. He smacked a double on the left field line. Got 2 RBIs in that game as well, as he also got a sac fly. So here's Judd Fabian back to the top half of the lineup. Fabian's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field in the first. First pitch from Gonzalez is a fastball low, 1-0.
And for Rivoli, by any means necessary, get on base, and he's been doing a lot better job of that. And that might be credit to his new look out there on the bases. You see those pants; they look like floods. You know,
1-0 pitch to Fabian's low, 2-0. What do you call them? Tweeners.
the tweeners, yeah, as if he in between the cutting the pants off at the knees and going all the way down to the ankle. The problem is they stop just above the ankle, like almost right at the bottom of the shin. It looks like he's wearing pants that are like too small.
2-0 pitch to Judd Fabian is inside, bounces before Claunch. Rivoli stays over at first. It's a 3-0 count on Judd Fabian. Rivoli said he started doing that in the doubleheader against Hyannis, and has just continued to do it. Said he felt good in that game. In that doubleheader, he was able to get an RBI in the second game. An 0-for-3 performance. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Fabian, and it's a fastball just catching the zone, 3-1.
And I just got to start somewhere, right? Just need that momentum to start building somewhere, and he got it with that RBI off of a fielder's choice. He beat out a double play, a double last night, and he leads off of getting on base here tonight.
3-1 pitch to Judd Fabian falls low and inside, and Fabian is on with a walk. Rivoli gets over to second, and just like the first inning, the Braves have runners on first and second. Now Xavier Warren coming up.
Yeah, and the Braves have been doing a great job tonight of getting on base without necessarily hitting the ball. Their third and fourth base runners right now out there, only one hit. And that was the Cade Beloso single back in the first base. And the opportunity here to really make some noise on the doors.
Now, Rivoli, before getting that double last night, was hitless in his last 7 games. His last hit was on June 18th against Brewster. Here's the first pitch to from Gonzalez to Warren. It's inside. 1-0. Xavier Warren doesn't have an official at-bat. He got hit by a pitch in the first inning. Now, Warren, the last time he faced Gonzalez, had a breakout performance in that game, homered off of him in the third game of the season. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Gonzalez. Xavier Warren, a chopper over to short. Trey Cruz, a glove flip to second, throw to first, and it's a 6-4-3 double play. A quick 2 outs as Rivoli gets over to third.
Yeah, there's a reason why they call that the inning killer, because that's exactly what that just does. If runners on first and second, it's a classic 6-4-3 double play. Now Beloso needs a base hit, barring a wild pitch here from Gonzalez to get that run in home.
Beloso has the only hit for the Braves so far in this game. A single in the first inning. And the first pitch he sees is lined out into center field. That'll score Rivoli. It's an RBI single for Cade Beloso, a 2-0 lead for the Bourne Braves.
Nice job by Cade Beloso. He's feeling it out there. He actually did a little bit of changing up when it comes to his appearance, Sam. Really went 0 for last night, and he started off today 2 for 2. He's got a little bit of the munch-up look right now, and it's paying off for him.
Yeah, it's working for him. First pitch, he was all green light against Chris Gonzalez as he took a ball to center field and scored Rivoli, and now it's Jimmy Glowenke, who had a sac fly in the first inning, 1 RBI so far. First pitch he sees as a grounder over to Cantrell at second. He will run over to second and tag the bag to get Beloso for the fielder's choice. And that'll do it here in the bottom half of the third, but the Braves add on. They have a 2-0 lead on an RBI single from Cade Beloso. We head to the fourth. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. The Bourne Braves enter the top of the fourth inning with a 2-0 lead over the third-place team in the West Division, the Falmouth Commodores. Coming into this game, an 11-8-1 record, winning 6 of their last 7, and an RBI home run, or a walk-off home run last night against the Harwich Mariners in the 10th inning. They are one of the hottest teams in the Cape League so far, and the Braves have a 2-0 lead on them so far through 3. It'll be Blake Dunn leading it off for the Commodores in the top of the fourth. Dunn, Deloach, and Cruz, 2, 3, 4, due up against Mac Lardner, who's only allowed 1 hit and retired the last 8 batters. First pitch to Blake Dunn is outside. He squared around a bunt, pulled it back in time, 1-0 count.
This is where the pitching really comes into play now. The batters have done their job. They're getting Lardner some runs. Can he deliver on his end?
1-0 is a fastball on the outside part of the plate to Dunn. 1-1. Dunn got on with a fielder's choice in the first inning, so he's 0 for 1. 1-1 pitch. He takes that ball to shallow right field. Kyler Fetko is moving in, battling the sun, and putting it away for the first out of the inning.
And that's a big out to get right there with Dunn. He's very speedy on the base paths. We already mentioned 10 stolen bases on the year, and it's even better to have the bases clear when going up against Zach Deloach.
Deloach struck out against Lardner in his first at-bat. He has the best average in the league right now at .377 coming out of Texas A&M. It's a lefty-on-lefty matchup. First pitch from Mac Lardner is a curveball right in the zone. 4 strike 1.
That's a great pitch there from Lardner. If he's able to get that curve working, especially throughout the entirety of the game, it's going to be a good look for him.
0-1. An outside fastball just catching the zone. Deloach didn't like it, and he's now down 0-2.
Yeah, Deloach could not believe that call. Looked a little bit outside, but Lardner gets the benefit of the call. Now can attack at 0-2.
Here's the windup and the pitch from Lardner. It's upstairs. Runs the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Wareham Gatemen with a 12-10-1 record. They lead the Western Division right now. Here's the 1-2 pitch on Deloach. It's a swing and a miss. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and the second time he's gone on the strikeout.
There's just something about the Braves really stepping up to their competition. Hayden Cantrell, who once led the league in terms of average, just got his first hit against the Bravos here tonight. He's 1 for 11 if you count the 2 at-bats. And Zach Deloach, 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, and he's supposed to be the best hitter in the entire league.
Mac Lardner so far doing a great job as the first pitch to Trey Cruz is a swing and a miss on a pitch inside. Cruz is 0 for 1. Flew out to right field in the first. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Chopped over to third base. Xavier Warren will stay put. The throw to first is in time to retire Trey Cruz and now make that 11 straight batters retired for Mac Lardner on the mound. The Commodores go down in order. 2, 3, 4. No runs, no hits. It's still a 2-0 lead for the Bourne Braves heading to the bottom half of the fourth. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Braves up 2-0. Bottom of the fourth inning. Jackson Greer will lead things off. And Joran, our longest game of the year last night against the Catuit Kettleers. That game reaching about 3 hours and 40 minutes. And this game, it's really been the opposite. Really flown by so far.
Well, that happens when your starting pitcher goes out and retires 11 people in a row. You'll get some pretty fast innings. I'll tell you what, though, we're on a great pace right now. 40 minutes for just, what has it been, 3.5 innings? That's pretty hard to beat right there.
Jackson Greer steps up, a fly out in the first. Gonzalez in the windup, the first pitch, and Greer fouls it off toward the backstop. 0-1. Greer playing in his 9th game for the Braves. So while he has played on 3 separate teams, he's stayed with the Bourne Braves the longest. As Gonzalez in the windup, the 0-1 pitch inside. It will even things up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jackson Greer, we mentioned his love for doubles, has 4 so far in 8 ball games so far. 3 RBIs. He scored 5 runs. Had a rough one last night, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, struck out 10 in the game last night, too.
1-1 pitch to Greer is a breaking ball in the zone that he watches. He is now down in the count, 1-2.
And he didn't like that call, having a little conversation with home plate umpire Joe Peters. Jackson Greer is definitely, he's a character on this team and not afraid to make sure his voice is heard.
Back in the box, twirls the bat around, the right-handed hitter. The 1-2 pitch from Chris Gonzalez is upstairs. Greer watches it, evens things up 2-2. Bases empty. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2-0 lead for the Braves. 1 run in the bottom of the 1st, and they tacked on another in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's the 2-2 pitch on Greer. It's low and inside, right at the feet. And the count now runs full, 3-2 to the Braves catcher.
Yeah, doing a nice job there. Fell behind in this at-bat. Now works the count full. Most likely going to get a fastball here on a 3-2 count. Let's see if he can drive it.
Here's the payoff pitch from Chris Gonzalez. Greer right down the 3rd base line. It's gloved by Moretto. He throws it all the way over to first, and Greer is out. The throw just in time to get him, and he's retired for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, worked a nice at-bat. Little unlucky. Just got on top of that one. That he seems to love that left field line. That's where he hits all of his doubles. He ropes right down the line. And if that ball gets through, it's probably another double. The problem is he just hits it on top of the ball and drives it straight into the ground. And Moretto is able to make a nice play on it.
It'll be Cody Morissette coming up. Flew out to left field in his first at-bat, 0 for 1. 1 out in the inning. Gonzalez in the windup. The first pitch is right down the middle for a strike on Morissette. Well, Greer is a huge pull hitter, and teams have noticed that, playing a little bit of a shift on him. You don't see that too much in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Actually had a pretty good conversation last night about it, Joran. What's your take on it? You asked me my take. What's your take on it?
Yeah, you know, it's. I agree with you. I think it's very hard to regulate.
0-1 pitch to Morris. That's off speed. He fouls it back toward the backstop.
It's hard to regulate. My problem with it is, and I say this every single time I see someone like Robinson Cano, for example. We'll use him as an example. Big pull guy. Everyone goes to the other side of the base. Why not just lay a bunt down the 3rd base line? I don't understand. It's a free way to get on. I understand that you don't want your 3-hole guy doing that.
0-2 is right over to 3rd base, gloved by Moretto on one hop. The throw is too high in the glove of Cooch. It bounces off of him, rolls back to the fence on the first base side, and Cody Morissette will get on first in what will likely be scored an E5. The throw from Steven Moretto at 3rd was way too high for Coots, and it looks like they'll give Morissette a hit. He's on first, a 1-out single that's scored for Cody Morissette, and another hit for him. 6-game hitting streak now.
Yeah, he gets the benefit of the call, and that's one of those gray areas where the score, if you're at your home park, more likely to give you a hit. Being given a hit there because I guess the scorer assumes that Morissette would have beat the throw out, and it would have been close if that throw was on line. It definitely would have been bang-bang. I think Morissette thinks he probably would have been safe, and I think the hit is probably the right call there.
Tyler Fedko now up with Morissette on first. The first pitch is in the zone for a strike on Fedko, 0-1. It was a hard-hit ground ball to Moretto, who fielded it on one hop. The throw was just a little too high. Fedko is 0 for 1, a fly out to second in his first at-bat. Gonzalez looks over at first. Now the 0-1 delivery is off speed and low. We'll even up this count 1-1.
And going back to our shift discussion, I think it's important because baseball is always evolving, right? There's never a dull moment in baseball. Everything keeps better. And I think sooner or later, there'll be a way to beat the shift. It's like in a reliever who hasn't been beat yet. Eventually, there is going to be a way to beat the shift, whether it is laying down bunts and making the infield play honest. Right now, though, I think I think the onus is on the hitters. It's almost like the defense is literally telling you, look, we're literally not going to play the entire left side of the field. Beat us. And right now, offense and hitters across Major League Baseball just haven't found a way to do it yet.
Gonzalez, the 1-1 pitch from the stretch is outside, gets off the glove of Claunch, and Morissette is over to second with a free base on the pass ball. Looks like it hit Claunch on the glove. It was an outside pitch from Gonzalez. So Morissette gets in scoring position. The double play out opportunity is axed, and he's now in scoring position with one out in the bottom of the fourth. Fedko now a 2-1 count.
And the Braves will take that all day long. A wild pitch helped them advance a runner into scoring position for Jimmy Glowenke to hit a sac fly back in the bottom of the first inning. And now here's a situation here for Fedko to get an RBI with Morissette now on second.
2-1. Fedko takes to right center field. Moving to his left side is Deloach. He'll put it away for the second out of the inning. Fedko, great contact off that pitch. Just hung up a little too long. Deloach was able to move to his right side just in time to put him out for the second out of the inning. And now it's up to Jared Poland to score Morissette at second.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there for Fedko. Hit that ball real hard off the bat. Just hung up a little bit in the air. Also, the ball slicing towards right field. Deloach not really having to move a lot. Took just about 5 or 6 steps in and was right in line to make the catch. Now it falls to Poland to try and get another.
Poland's 0 for 1, a ground out to second in his first at-bat. 2 outs in the inning. Morissette over on second. 2-0 lead for the Braves. The first pitch to Jared Poland. He skies over in foul territory, heading toward the seats on the first base side. 0-1. Jared Poland, the rising sophomore from the University of Louisville. Two-way player, gets the start at second base today. Jimmy Glowenke gets a day off, typically playing shortstop. A day off in the field. Glowenke, the DH today. Already a sacrifice fly. Gonzalez from the stretch. The 0-1 pitch is taken to left center field. That ball will get down for a single. Poland takes over to first. Morissette coming home to score. It's an RBI single for Jared Poland, and the Braves extend to it. It's 3-0.
And the pass ball comes back to haunt the Commodores. That's happened now 2 times today. The wild pitch or the pass ball gets Morissette to second base. All it took was 1 base hit, and Jared Poland delivers. And the Braves right now on top of the Commodores, 3-0 in the bottom of the fourth.
Rivoli will now come up. He was hit by a pitch in the third inning, came around to score on the RBI single from Cade Beloso. First pitch to Rivoli is taken down the first base line underneath the glove of Jackson Coots. Poland will head over to third. No, he stops halfway and now turns back and heads for second. It's a single for Brendan Rivoli, and with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning, the Braves have runners on first and second with already 1 run home, and Judd Fabian will now come up.
And talk about a turnaround. First, it was Cody Morissette. Now Brendan Rivoli is getting the bat going. Perhaps all it took was that RBI and that fielder's choice back in Hyannis. He is different up there at the plate. The confidence is back for him, and that's a huge plus for this Braves team that just needed some bats.
Here's Judd Fabian looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 1 with a walk in the third inning. Runners on first and second, and Gonzalez will take a step off the mound. For the 6th game in a row, the Braves have scored 3 or more runs. Gonzalez comes set. First pitch to Judd Fabian is an off-speed pitch down the middle for a strike. Last time the Braves were held to under 3 runs was July 2nd against Catuit in a 4-1 victory for the Kettleers. And they score so far 3 tonight. A 1 pitch to Fabian falls low. Claunch blocks it, and it gets behind him. Runners will advance 90 feet. Looked like he blocked it at first. It got underneath him. Rivoli to second, and Poland to third.
And it's another pass ball there for Claunch. Second today, and a wild pitch in the first inning, and now a base hit from Fabian possibly scores 2 Braves with Rivoli on second, and the runner on third. Now Poland. This is a big situation. The Braves are really taking advantage of the errors made in the field today by the Commodores.
It's a 1-1 count on Judd Fabian. Here's the pitch from Gonzalez. Fabian skies it out, first base side out of play. He's now behind 1-2. Braves with one run across the plate in every inning except the second so far, a 3-0 lead. 5 hits, just one for Falmouth. The Braves have split the season series so far against the Commodores. Here's the 1-2 on Fabian. Off speed and low. 2-2.
That's a good eye from Fabian. Seeing that pitch low, breaking ball that started around his belt, ended up in the dirt. Able to recognize that a pitch that starts low is always going to go low or even lower. And that pitch did go lower now. 2-2 here, likely to get a fastball here that he can turn on.
Gonzalez struggling on the mound. Fourth straight start, he's allowed 3 or more runs. The 2-2 pitch is low on Fabian, and the count now runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, there is a base over down at first base, but I don't think Gonzalez wants to go up against Xavier Warren here with the bases loaded. Warren, of course, got his first home run of the season against Gonzalez back at Falmouth. And going against Warren with the bases juice, I think, is something that Gonzalez just doesn't want.
Payoff on Fabian. He chops it over toward the Braves dugout. A foul ball. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the reason the game was so long last night was because of the amount of long at-bats that were happening in that game. We saw Aubrey Major have 2 extremely long at-bats, and he was battling with many foul balls against the Braves pitching staff.
And there's multiple double-digit at-bats.
Gonzalez comes set. The payoff pitch to Fabian is grounded over to Trey Cruz at short. He fumbles it. The throw to first is not in time. Fabian gets to first, and a run comes home to score, and Jared Poland. The Braves now lead 4-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning.
It's ruled an error on Cruz, so Fabian is not going to get credit for the RBI, but I don't think he really cares about it because another run comes in, and the Braves on top of the Commodores here tonight, 4-0, and still have the opportunity to put a run on.
Jeff Trundy for the Falmouth Commodores has not come out to visit Chris Gonzalez. There is an arm warming up in the right field bullpen. Just some stretching going on right now for Falmouth, but Gonzalez, this is still his game. Runners at the corners, 2 outs, and Xavier Warren coming up. First pitch from Gonzalez. Warren off speed, watches it on the inside corner for a called strike.
Warren looking for some redemption after hitting into that double play back in the 3rd inning. Base hit here, scores Rivoli over from 3rd base, and something hit in a gap might get Fabian home too.
0-1 pitch is right down the left field line. That ball will be foul. Roped, hugging the left field line just left of the bag. Xavier Warren almost having extra bases, but now he's got an 0-2 count. Back in the box against Gonzalez. Fabian at first. Brendan Rivoli at 3rd. 5 hits in the ball game for the Bourne Braves. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Gonzalez, and Warren over to second base. It's fielded by Cantrell. He'll make the play, throw it to first, and Xavier Warren will be retired. But the Braves tack on 2 more. They lead it 4-0 as we head to the top of the 5th. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Mac Lardner back on the mound for his now 5th inning of work as the Braves tack on 2 more in the bottom of the 4th inning for a 4-0 lead. Welcome back to Doran Park. Braves enjoying this one so far. Troy Claunch will lead it off for the Commodores. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 batters due up for a lineup that's only gotten 1 hit against Lardner. Claunch is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The first pitch to him is a grounder over to Xavier Warren at third. Takes a weird hop, but Warren still fields it. Throw to first, and Claunch is retired for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, the ball bounced right where the grass meets the dirt. So instead of bouncing up, bounced more toward Warren, staying closer to the ground. Warren was able to adjust, catching the ball around his knees and make the throw across the diamond for the first downs. Back-to-back ground ball to him. And Lardner, I think to say he's dealing right now, Sam, would be an understatement.
Taylor Smith now comes up. Falmouth looking for some offensive break to be able to get going. Here's the first pitch to Taylor Smith. It's a hard swinging strike at a ball that was low. Starts him off 0-1. Smith is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. The hero of last night's game for the Commodores. 2 wins in a row for Falmouth. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Taylor Smith watches it outside. 1-1. Well, during this game, working at a fast pace, which is good, so we can all go home and watch former Brave Pete Alonso in the MLB home run derby. The 1-1 pitch to Smith is swung on and missed. 1-2.
Love the home run derby. Love the home run derby.
Gotta love it. One of the most exciting things in the MLB season. Here's the 1-2 pitch on Taylor Smith. It's high and outside. Jackson Greer stands up to catch it. 2-2.
Of course, the Cape League will have their home run hitting contest pregame before the All-Star game at Eldridge Park a couple Sundays from now.
2-2, got him swinging. For Mac Lardner, that's his 5th strikeout. Make that a season high. And the second out of the inning, Taylor Smith for the second time is gone on strikes.
And if my math is correct, I believe 13 straight sent down by Mac Lardner. Only has given up 1 hit, and that led off the game with Hayden Cantrell. He is just in another zone right now.
Steven Moretto comes up. First pitch is a beautiful off-speed from Mac Lardner for a strike down the middle. Moretto's 0 for 1. Ground out to first in the second inning. 0-1 delivery. Swung on and missed, and Mac Lardner is completely fooling these batters. Moretto's now down 0-2.
And we've seen him go with the 0-2 waist pinch quite a lot. He likes to go fastball up high. And with the way he's working right now, I say just go right after him. Go off speed here, 0-2.
The lefty in the windup. Now the 0-2 pitch is fouled off. Well, for Ryan Cusick last night, this is where it all fell apart. He gave up 5 runs in the top of the 5th inning. After pitching a pretty solid game, had 4 strikeouts. Here's the 0-2 pitch on Moretto. It's grounded right back to, or it's lined right back to Lardner on the mound. Hits off of his glove. He throws it over to first, and that'll be it for Steven Moretto. He is thrown out by Mac Lardner. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Mac Lardner on the mound. No runs, no hits for the Falmouth Commodores. A 4-0 lead for the Bourne Braves as we head to the bottom half. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Middle of the lineup, due up for the Braves, facing Chris Gonzalez, who struggled in this one. 1 run given up in the bottom of the first, 1 in the bottom of the third, and 2 in the bottom of the fourth to make this a 4-0 Bourne Braves lead as they head to bat in the bottom of the fifth. Cade Beloso will lead things off. Had an RBI single in the third inning. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles so far. Here's the first pitch against Chris Gonzalez. Off speed and outside for a ball, 1-0.
What do you got on the mutton chop look for Beloso here today? There's a space in between his sideburns and his beard. What do we got on that?
After the 1-0 pitch, I'll tell you, he fouls it off toward the Falmouth dugout. 1-1. You know, it's something I would never try myself.
I was going to ask you that.
But it's working for him, obviously, so far. 2 for 2.
Yeah, it is.
An RBI. I don't have a problem with it. I like it. Here's the 1-1 pitch on Beloso now. It almost hits him as it sails high and inside. A 2-1 count now for Beloso. Gonzalez has really struggled so far for Falmouth during his summer stay. 2-1 pitch on Beloso's inside. It's now a good hitter's count for the number 3 batter in the Braves lineup. 3-1.
We know Beloso's not afraid to take the walk. He'll do that with pleasure. He took a couple of walks last night in order to keep his reach bases streak alive.
Beloso with 9 walks on the season. Now make that 10 as he watches the 3-1 inside on the fastball. Beloso is headed over to first with a leadoff walk.
And you have to just imagine or wonder here when the plug is going to get pulled on Gonzalez. There's an arm getting loose right now, but it's another leadoff base runner for the Braves. And Jimmy Glowinski coming in with already an RBI on the day.
Glowinski's 0 for 1, a sac fly in the first inning. Gonzalez comes set. The first pitch to Glowinski is fouled off. First base side and out of play. 5 hits for the Braves and 4 runs out of it. Just 1 hit for the Falmouth Commodores. Mac Lardner has been doing fantastic so far, and you think, Jordan, we might see one of the only games where the Braves hitting and pitching is both performing at an excellent rate as the 0-1 is looked at a little low to Glowinski, 1-1.
And that's what happens if the bottom of the order finally starts to come around. We know about Fabian. We know about Warren and Beloso. But if Rivoli, Morissette, and Poland are able to carry their weight, it's something special.
The 1-1 is way outside the Glowinski. Breaking ball, 2-1. They are just beating up Chris Gonzalez. In his now 4 games started, he's given up at least 3 runs in every game. The 2-1 to Glowinski's a fastball inside corner for a strike. Evens things up 2-2.
And Glowinski didn't like the call. Now has the battle here 2-2. It'd be nice to see Glowinski, who's struggled a little bit and hasn't been big in the hit column recently. Nice to see him really bounce back in a game like tonight.
2-2 delivery. He gets a bat on it. Grounder over to third with Moretto. It bounces off of his glove and over to shortstop Trey Cruz. And Jimmy Glowinski is now on first. That will likely be scored the second error of the game for the Commodores.
Yeah, and it does officially go into the book as an error, and that's big for the Braves. Runners on first and second now when that could have been a double play ball. Bases could have been cleared with 2 outs, and instead, runners on first and second, nobody out for Jackson Greer, who I'm sure is very hungry for a hit.
Greer's 0 for 2. One of the only batters not to reach base so far for the Braves. The first pitch, he fouls off toward the backstop. 0-1. The other batter that hasn't reached base is Kyler Fedko. He's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts. Gonzalez has not struck out a single Braves batter so far in his 4 innings pitched. We haven't seen something like that in a while. Greer back into the box, adjusts the helmet. The 0-1 pitch from Gonzalez is off speed, and Greer flies it over to left field. Tawa moving back. He'll get under it and make the play for the first out of the inning, and Jackson Greer will move to 0 for 3.
Yeah, just not being able to really get the bat going for him thus far. Better than a double play, though. Beloso with not a lot of speed over there at second base, so no chance, even if he did have the speed, that he'd be able to tag up and go to third. But here's a guy that we'd love to see continue his streak in Cody Morissette.
Morissette, a solid game so far, 1 for 2. And now there will be a mound visit and potentially a pitching change. with Chris Gonzalez, who's given up 4 runs on 5 hits for the Braves. Morissette's 1 for 2, a single in the 4th inning. He came around to score on the RBI single from Jared Poland. And this Falmouth team has committed now 20 errors on the season. That's tied with Brewster for 6th in the league. As the mound visit is over, runner still on first and second for the Braves. 1 out in the inning. Morissette approaching the box to begin his at-bat.
And so tied for 6th in the league, came into this game with only 24 errors. Pretty uncharacteristic game right now for the Commodores with 2 errors, and we're only about halfway through this ball game.
Morissette in the box. Here's the first pitch he sees. Bounces away from Trey Claunch, who was outside. And the runners, again, will move up 90 feet. Another mistake from Gonzalez. An outside pitch that bounced off the gear of Troy Claunch. And now it's runners on second and third.
That's the 4th time we've seen either a wild pitch or a pass ball. 2 combinations of both. 2 wild pitches, 2 pass balls. Now the double play is no more. And Falmouth, the defense, going to line up in on the infield grass. Base hit, could score 2.
Gonzalez comes set. The 1-0 pitch to Morissette is inside. A 2-0 count now for the Braves shortstop today. Infield playing in, right on the edge of the grass. Here's Gonzalez's 2-0 pitch to Morissette. It's a fastball down the middle that Morissette watches for a strike. It's 2-1. I asked Morissette if more playing time has equaled better hitting from him, and he said, well, he liked playing with Alika Williams, who was the typical shortstop for the Braves in the beginning of the season. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Morissette flies it over to left field. Tawa is moving back. He'll make the play. Coming home is Beloso. He will charge toward the plate, and standing up, he makes it in time. Glowenke now moving over to third. The throw over to third is not in time. Glowenke moves to third. It's a sac fly for Cody Morissette, and the Braves now lead it 5-0.
Heads up base running from Jimmy Glowenke. We've seen him make a couple mistakes out there on the base paths, but he very wisely sees that the throw bounced away from Claunch, the catcher. He advances to third instead of staying put at second, and now a base hit for sure brings him in, and we're going to have a pitching change. Gonzalez's day is going to come to an end.
Gonzalez has given up 5 runs so far on 5 hits for the Braves, and his day will come to a close with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. He'll make that long walk toward the Commodore dugout, and we will take a quick break. It'll be Kyler Fedko, the first batter against the Commodores' new pitcher. 5-0 Braves. You're watching it here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. The Braves lead in the middle of the bottom of the 5th inning, 2 outs. And that's it for Chris Gonzalez. He goes 4 2/3, 5 hits allowed, 5 runs, 4 of them being earned. Jimmy Glowenke over at third base got on with the air, so if he comes home, It'll be a run, but not earned charge toward Chris Gonzalez. 2 walks, not striking out anybody, and the new pitcher is Justin Robleski out of Clemson.
Yeah, really young, only 18 years old, celebrating his 19th birthday in just about a week or so from now. 1-1 with a 9 ERA, making his 5th appearance. Only has thrown 5 innings, but don't get it fooled by that ERA. Last time he threw up against Chatham, 2 innings of hitless and scoreless baseball.
It's Kyler Fedko, the first victim he'll face, with Jimmy Glowenke over at third. 2 outs in the inning, and Fedko swings at the first pitch and takes it opposite field. Deloach moving over, it gets down and over the fence for a ground rule double. Kyler Fedko gets his first hit of the game and knocks in Jimmy Glowenke, a 6-0 Braves lead now, and Kyler Fedko gets his 6th hit of the season.
A great piece of hitting. Took that down the other line over in right field. Deloach going back on it. Tried to make a play. It's almost surprised he didn't lay out for that one. He couldn't get it. Ball bounces over the fence for a ground rule double. That run gets charged to Gonzalez. The Braves in business, though, with 6 runs on top of the Commodores here.
Now it's Jared Poland, a rough entrance to the game for Justin Robleski. His first pitch, a ground roll double by Kyler Fedko. First pitch to Poland. Fedko's moving on the pitch. He tries to steal third. The throw is way in time, and Steven Moretto applies the tag for the 3rd out of the inning. The Braves rank last in stolen bases with only 6, and Kyler Fedko tried to make that 7, but it wasn't even close on the throw from Claunch over to third. But the Braves put 2 more runs on the board in the bottom of the 5th inning. They lead it now 6-0. We head to the top of the 6th. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. (6-0) lead for the Braves over the number 3 team in the Western Division. Mac Lardner back on the mound. He's retired 14 straight batters after allowing a leadoff hit to Hayden Cantrell. And Jordan, he's been nothing short of excellent tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned just one batter that was able to get on with a hit, only allowing 2 base runners so far today.
Jackson Coots watches the first pitch curve into the strike zone, 0-1. Coots is 0 for 1 with a ground out over to second in the 3rd inning. Just 1 hit allowed by Hayden Cantrell, the leadoff batter. That's been it for Mac Lardner. The 0-1 is swung on and missed on a pitch that hit the dirt. Lardner has no 2 lead over Coots.
And that was just an embarrassing swing there from Coots. Completely fooled on the off-speed pitch by Lardner. He is in control right now.
0-2. Way outside. No chance at reaching the zone. 1-2. For Lardner, it's been 5 strikeouts. That is a season high. Stares down Greer, the catcher. Now the 1-2 delivery is swung on and missed. Make that 6 strikeouts and 15 straight batters retired for Mac Lardner on the mound. It's 1 out in the inning.
We are seeing the best performance we've seen in a Bourne Braves uniform, I think, hitting or fielding right now from Mac Lardner. He is unbelievable today. 15 in a row. I think the question is just how far can he go?
He came in with 9 strikeouts on the season, starting 3 games. He's already hit 6 strikeouts in this 1 game. Here's the first pitch to Tim Tawa, a swing and a miss on a ball that was high and tight. Tawa's 0 for 1. A ground out to short in the 3rd inning. Lardner in the windup. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Tawa watches it low. 1-1. Mac Lardner completely in the zone. Talking with the MLB scout liaison, Joaquin Murrieta before the game. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Tawa, a tough swing and a miss. Now 1-2. And he said that Mac Lardner, his fastball is not going to be too high, ranging from 86 to 89. But he knows how to use his stuff. And more importantly, he knows how to pitch. Here's the 1-2 pitch on Tawa. He gives that ball a ride to left center field. Judd Fabian moving back to the track. He'll put it away on the warning track for the second out of the inning.
Well, that's the hardest hit ball we've seen against Mac Lardner all day, but Judd Fabian showing off the wheels, getting over there at left center field. That ball looked like extra bases for sure off the bat. Thought maybe even had a chance to get out of here, but Fabian putting on a show with his feet and with the glove.
Last time Judd Fabian had a ball like that was against Brewster that he caught and went up to show the umpires, and it bounced out of the glove and went over the fence. Here's the first pitch to Hayden Cantrell. It's a swing and a miss for a strike, 0-1.
Here's my only problem with Joaquin saying he knows how to pitch. Well, that's a little bit broad for me.
Well, there's a lot of guys. They wouldn't be here if they knew how to pitch.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know what you mean. 0-1. Cantrell launches it low, 1-1. You know, I think it's the tone in which he says it. I think the way when he was talking to us about Lardner, he said he knows how to pitch.
Yeah.
If it was a random guy, he would be like, yeah, he knows how to pitch.
He was convinced.
He was very convinced. 1-1 is a tough breaking ball, just missing the zone. That pitch was probably low 70s. 2-1. Lardner in the windup. The 2-1 delivery to Cantrell is a little low. Lardner doesn't get the call. It's now a 3-1 count.
Yeah, and Jackson Greer behind the plate held that pitch up for Joe Peters, the home plate umpire. Just let him get a long look at it because, man, I'm not sure where that one missed. If it missed, it might have just missed the closest point to him getting a strike, I think.
Cantrell, the only hit for the Falmouth Commodores today. The 3-1 delivery is in the zone on the fastball from Lardner on the outside part of the plate. The count now runs full, 3-2.
I think it's interesting here, Sam. We're going to see Lardner's best pitch, and that could be any one of his pitches right now with how he's throwing.
Payoff pitch to Hayden Cantrell. Got him swinging at a ball that was in the dirt. Cantrell was fooled. And yet again, the Falmouth Commodores go down in order. No runs, no hits. The Bourne Braves lead at 6-0. We head to the bottom half of the sixth. You're watching Bourne Braves baseball on YouTube. Braves lead this one 6-0 and have scored a run in every inning except the bottom of the second. It'll be Jared Pullen, Brendan Rivoli, and Judd Fabian. Jordan, we've seen a lot of scoring in this game. What about the other games around the Cape?
Yeah, we'll start over at Red Wilson Field. Harwich with a 4-2 lead over Eastern Division foe, the YD Red Sox, and Cotuit in a Western Division matchup up 4-0 over the Wareham Gatemen in the battle for first place. Whoever wins that game wins first place, at least for now. And Chatham with a 3-0 lead over the Orleans Firebirds in the second inning in that one.
First pitch to Jared Poland is a strike from Justin Robleski. It's funny the way baseball works. Orleans was the hottest team in the Cape League, 5 wins in a row. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Poland. Grounder over back toward the Braves dugout. 0-2, or 1-1, excuse me. The Braves, or the Orleans Firebirds, 5 wins in a row.
Right.
Hottest team in the Cape. And then all the way down, 5 losses in a row. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. a swing of emotions, and now they're losing to Chatham.
Yeah, by 3 runs as well. We know Chatham very good.
And pitch from Wrobleski, falling low and inside. Poland is 1 for 2, RBI single in the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. It's cut on and missed, and Poland goes down swinging for the first out of the inning.
And Poland just couldn't catch up to the fastball there, but that brings up someone I'm really interested to see what he does in this at-bat with how well he's been swinging the bat recently. It's Brendan Rivoli, Sam.
Rivoli is 1 for 1, a single in the 4th. He got on with a hit-by pitch in the 3rd, came around to score on the RBI single from Cade Beloso. Rivoli has had a game to remember. Here's the first pitch to him. It's a breaking ball hitting the zone from Wrobleski, 0-1. What started last night for Rivoli, getting a double. 0-1 is check swing, and he did go around. 0-2.
Yeah, and Rivoli having a conversation with Joe Peters, the home plate umpire, and he's hearing it from the Braves dugout. And something that we're keeping an eye on, Sam, is if Mac Larner is going to be given the green light to go ahead and pitch next inning as well. It looks like there is some stirring going on out there in the Braves bullpen.
0-2 pitch to Rivoli's outside, a waste pitch from Wrobleski. He almost fell down on the mound. It's now 1-2. We've seen a few Braves pitchers go 6 innings. Ryan Cusick, Harrison Rakowski, Mac Lardner going 6 in his last start, but nobody's been over that. 1-2 pitch on Rivoli. It's off speed, and he skies it high in the infield. Hayden Cantrell over at second is under it, moving to his right side, and he'll put it away for the second out of the inning, and Brendan Rivoli goes down for the first time tonight in tonight's contest.
And I can confirm that Larner is going to be pitching the next inning because there's 2 outs in this inning, and nobody is really throwing yet. Perhaps it looks like Carl Johnson's getting loose. Perhaps he's getting ready to come in the 8th inning, and that's just because there's a lot of scouts here. You have to get certain guys certain looks. If this was just a straight-on baseball game, I think Larner pitches the entire way.
First pitch to Fabian is high inside on a breaking ball from Wrobleski. 1-0. Oh, that's good news for the Braves, the way that Mac Lardner has been pitching. 6 strikeouts. 1-0. Fabian skies it back toward the press box in foul territory. 1-1. The most impressive start by a Braves pitcher this season. And he's putting in his case for Cape Cod Baseball League Pitcher of the Week.
I think he's also putting his case to get in the All-Star team as well, Sam.
Yeah. Here's the 1-1 pitch on Judd Fabian. An inside pitch, he fouls off. Back into the glove of Troy Claunch. 1-2. Fabian so far is 0 for 2. Has reached base twice on a walk in the 3rd and an error by Trey Cruz at short in the 4th. Looking for his first hit of the ball game. 1-2. Got him swinging. And Fabian goes down for the 3rd out of the inning. The Braves go down in order. No runs, no hits in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the top of the 7th, and Mac Lardner returns to the mound for his 7th inning of work. 6-0 lead for the Bourne Braves. We'll see you in the bottom half. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. 17 batters retired in a row for Mac Lardner in a pitching gem so far. A one-hit performance against the Falmouth Commodores. Blake Dunn will step up. 6 strikeouts for Lardner on the mound tonight. Dunn is 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning, and the first pitch is a tough swing and a miss from Dunn. Starts him off 0-1.
Blake Dunn was the last person to get on base. He reached base with a fielder's choice all the way back in the top of the first inning, Sam.
0-1. Dunn will sky it over to right field. Kyler Fedko is under it, battling the sun, but he puts it away for the first out of the inning. Well, Ryan Cusick had a performance where he pitched 6 innings, struck out 8 against Chatham. But, Jordan, I think this one, so far for Lardner, if he can get out of this inning unharmed, has topped that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, without question. We've not seen dominance like we've seen out of Mac Lardner here tonight. He is, I think, after this game, he becomes the real ace of this pitching staff.
First pitch to Deloach is a grounder over to Jared Poland at second. A diving stop, throw to first. He's called safe. Oh, the Braves look stunned. Cade Beloso thought that he got the stretch in time. Jared Poland making a great diving stop at second base, but it's the first hit since the first batter of the game in Hayden Cantrell, and that ends what was an 18 batters retired streak for Mac Lardner.
Yeah, and write this one down in the notes because I'm not sure if we're ever going to see a performance like this for the rest of the season. It's only once in a blue moon that you see somebody go 18 in a row.
First pitch to Trey Cruz is low for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, and on that play, I think Poland, a little distracted by the sun there. He reacted late on that ground ball. I think if the sun wasn't there, if the sun was either like it was at first pitch or if the sun was down, I think that's a routine ground ball out.
1-0 pitch on Trey Cruz is low. It's now 2-0. 7 strikeouts for Mac Lardner. Carl Johnson warming up in the left field bullpen for the Braves. Will most likely just pitch 1 inning if Lardner can get out of this one. 2-0. And Cruz will fly it first base side, out of play. Now a 2-1 count. Deloach, the leading batter in the Cape Cod Baseball League. That's the thing for Mac Lardner. He's facing a lineup that has Hayden Cantrell and Zach Deloach, 2 of the top batting averages in the Cape Cod Baseball League. 2-1. And Cruz watches a fastball strike down the middle. Count evens up 2-2.
I'd love to see that big, slow curveball from Mac Lardner here. 2-2. Go out, throw a huge off-speed pitch. Might even turn a double play out of it.
The lefty comes set. Hands meet at the belt. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's a hard ground ball to Xavier Warren, who stops it. The throw to second is in time. Jared Poland, the second baseman, covering. There's the second out of the inning. Xavier Warren taking a hard-hit ground ball that hit him in the glove. He kept it in front of him and got the out over at second. So Trey Cruz reaches on the fielder's choice. There's 2 outs in the inning.
Well, this is a carbon copy of the first inning, Sam. When Cantrell got on with the single, then Dunn got on with the fielder's choice. Same thing here after Deloach got on with a single. That ball was rocketed to the hot corner over there with Xavier Warren. All he could really do is just put a glove in front of his body and hope that he got it, and he did get a little bit lucky there.
Now it's Trey Claunch who watches the first pitch in the zone for a strike from Lardner. Claunch 0 for 2, a strikeout in the second, grounder to Xavier Warren at third in the fifth. Cruz over at first. This Falmouth team loves to steal, has the most amount of stolen bases with 42 in the league. The 0-1 pitch is cut on and fouled back toward the press box. 0-2 on Claunch. 7 strikeouts for Mac Lardner. The record by a Braves pitcher this season was 8 for Ryan Cusick against Chatham. Lardner comes set. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Make that 8 strikeouts for Mac Lardner on the mound, and he gets out of it. 7 scoreless innings, only allowing 2 hits in what will most likely be his final inning. Mac Lardner heads off the mound with a fantastic start. The Braves still lead it 6-0. We head to the bottom half of the 7th. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. 6-0 lead for the Bourne Braves. Xavier Warren will lead things off after the 7th inning stretch. Bottom of the 7th inning. The Braves, 6 runs on 6 hits. Falmouth, just 2 hits, no runs. And Mac Lardner, with the best pitching performance we've seen by a Brave this season, goes 7 innings, striking out 8, and only allowing 2 hits. He's walking toward the bullpen right now, so his night is over. First pitch to Xavier Warren is high and outside for a ball. It's a 1-0 count. And Joran, we see Lardner's coming over to the bullpen. Here's the 1-0 pitch on Xavier Warren. Fastball down the middle for a strike, 1-1. The whole bullpen is going over to Lardner and congratulating him on what was a fantastic start against one of the hottest teams in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Yeah, and I think it's unlikely that we'll see a start like that for the rest of the season just because he retired 18 in a row, Sam.
1-1, Xavier Warren, check swing, pulled it back. It was a pitch inside. He did not go around. 2-1. Lardner congratulated by his bullpen counterparts. 2-1 pitch to Xavier Warren is a chopper right back up the middle. Cantrell, it gets over his glove and skips over into center field. A leadoff single for Xavier Warren, his first hit of the ball game. And he's on first with Cade Beloso coming up.
Yeah, got a bad hop just behind second base, skipped right over the head of Hayden Cantrell and didn't have time to adjust. He caught the very tip of the glove. And Warren gets his first hit of the night. He's already got a run scored. Braves looking to pour it on here in the 7th.
Cade Beloso, who's had quite the game. 2 for 2, an RBI single in the 3rd. He walked in the 5th and came around to score. First pitch to him is a fastball high and outside. 1-0. Falmouth used 4 pitchers in last night's 10-inning walk-off victory. They've only used 2 tonight in Chris Gonzalez and Justin Robleski. Robleski, the lefty, comes set. Here's the 1-0 pitch on Beloso. Broken bat, small ground ball over to Cantrell. He fields it, throw to first, and Cade Beloso, not with a ton of speed, is sat down on the throw out from Hayden Cantrell at second. That's the first out of the inning.
And the broken bat's become a rarity here at Dorn Park. We saw a lot of them throughout the first couple games of the season, but now it's every once in a blue moon.
Yeah, you know what hasn't happened tonight?
Nobody's thrown the bat yet.
Nobody's thrown the bat. No one's thrown the bat.
Still got a little bit of time left, though.
You're right. You're right. Well, I think with the way Mac Lardner's been pitching on the mound, Falmouth really hasn't even had to swing.
Yeah.
They've been stood still in their tracks. Xavier Warren stealing third, and Glowenke hits it over to left center field underneath the glove of Trey Cruz. Xavier Warren will coast into home. It's an RBI single for Jimmy Glowenke, and the Braves now lead it 7-0.
Yeah, Xavier Warren caught Robleski falling asleep over there on the mound. Nobody was covering him, and he was going to take the base because no one seemed interested in keeping him in check. So a impromptu hit and run turns into an RBI single for Jimmy Glowenke. And now here's a guy in Jackson Greer who's got a real good opportunity to finally get his night going and get him on the right side of the hit column.
Greer's the only player that hasn't gotten on base for the Bourne Braves. Here's the first pitch from Robleski. It's low and inside. Bounces in the dirt. Jackson Greer tells Glowenke to not steal on that pitch. It's a 1-0 count. Greer is 0 for 3. Kyler Fedko was the last one that was able to get an RBI double in the 5th inning. The 1-0 on Greer is way outside. Troy Klontz does a good job at gloving that one. 2-0 now. Greer's already homered at this ballpark as a member of the Harwich Mariners against Josh Culliver. Robleski comes set. 2-0. Greer watches it low. It's now a 3-0 count.
Yeah, and up by 7 runs. Irish Shapiro's throwing out the signs. I hope Greer's got the green light to go ahead and swing at this pitch. Probably going to be the best pitch he's going to see the entire at-bat. Why not? You're up by 7 runs, only 1 out. Go out there and just give that swing your all.
3-0 on Jackson Greer is low and inside, and he reaches base for the first time tonight with a 1-out walk. So he's still hitless, but he gets on base, a 4-pitch walk, and that will bring up Cody Morissette.
Yeah, it's always tough when you're going through a little bit of a hitless streak because you want a good pitch to hit there, but you're not going to swing at something that's way out of the strike zone. And Greer didn't even really have a chance to swing. We have a mound visit coming here from the doors.
Morissette comes up 1 for 2 on tonight's ball game, and a single in the 4th and a sac fly in the 5th inning. Falmouth will talk with Justin Robleski. No arm warming up for the Commodores in the right field bullpen. Well, I was talking about Cody Morissette and what he learned from Alika Williams, who's now on Team USA, was the starting shortstop for the Braves in the beginning part of the season. He said he loved playing with players like that. He learned so much from Alika Williams, and he's learned so much from Jimmy Glowenke as well. Those are 2 older guys, and Morissette said that he's learned a lot from, and it's really benefited him here in this stretch. A stretch that was won 17 games in 16 days. And Morissette has really turned it up in the middle of the season. So he comes up with runners on first and second. The first pitch is high and tight, watches it for a ball. 5 straight balls for Justin Robleski.
Yeah, I think Morissette probably going to take until he gets thrown a strike here. No reason to interrupt Robleski if he can't find the zone.
Robleski comes set, hands meet at the chest. The 1-0 pitch to Morissette is outside, make that 6 straight balls. And it's now a 2-0 count. Now, remind me which college team it is. It's Arkansas or Ole Miss, I think, that does the ball 5 when they keep throwing.
I believe that's Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Yeah.
Okay. 2-0 is down the middle, and there's the first strike of the at-bat, 2-1. See, that's what I'm thinking during this at-bat. 6 straight balls for Justin Robleski. He breaks that streak.
And I think if Morissette finds a pitch he can hit, he's going to go ahead and hack away here.
2-1 is a fastball down the middle, taken over into right field, a grounder to right. That will score Jimmy Glowenke. He's coming home. It's an RBI single for Cody Morissette, his second RBI of the game, and the Braves extend their lead 8-0. What a ball game for the Braves.
Well, just the thing they needed to get out of their slump. They lose 3 in a row and explode tonight on Falmouth, and maybe that's just the running trend, is that this team is who the Braves want to face when they're going through some rough times. They got their first win of the season against the Commodores, and now look to get back in the win column here tonight, get their 8th win of the season, scoring 8 runs.
The most runs the Braves scored was against the Falmouth Commodores in the 3rd game of the season. Beat Falmouth 10-2 in that game for their first win of the season. Here's the first pitch on Kyler Fedko. It's a hanging breaking ball that is inside. 1-0. 10-2 victory there. They now put 8 runs on the board in this one. Robleski comes set. Looks over at Greer on second. Now the 1-0 pitch to Fedko is a fastball inside, 2-0. And Robleski is now struggling with location.
Yeah, there's nobody warming right now in the Commodore bullpen, so you wonder if they're just kind of leaving their pitcher out to get eaten alive here by the pack of wolves. And actually, as I say that, there's somebody just getting loose, just starting to get loose right now. Only 1 out. This inning's still a long way from over.
The 2-0 on Fedko. He skies back toward the press box, and that's the first strike of the at-bat. It's now 2-1. Falmouth, a team that is definitely going to be in contention to win the Western Division with Wareham and Katuitt. Falmouth right now 2 points behind the Gatemen, who lead the division with 25 points. Falmouth with 23, Katuitt with 24. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Kyler Fedko. He will fly that ball into shallow right field. Zach DeLoach moving in is called off by Hayden Cantrell, who makes an over-the-shoulder catch for the second out of the inning.
Fedko just couldn't find the pitch to hit right there. Got a little under that one, just popped it up into shallow right field. No infield fly since Cantrell was never under it. He never really established that he was under it. Now with 2 outs here, Jared Poland has a chance to get in on the RBI party.
Poland coming up with runners on first and second. Falmouth coming into this game had the longest winning streak in the league with 2 wins in a row.
Longest active. winning streak.
And Poland sends a ball to left center field. Tawa's moving back. That ball will bounce to the wall. Jackson Greer comes home. Cody Morissette being waved around. He'll score. And Poland has a 2 RBI double. The Braves put 10 runs on Falmouth. It's 10-0.
They put 10 runs on Falmouth for the second time this season. Jared Poland not waiting around and not beating around the bush, taking that first pitch into the left center field gap. It's a 4-run 7th inning, and just the more the merrier, Sam, here tonight.
An offensive explosion for the Bourne Braves that was all allowed by Mac Lardner's 7 innings of work, only allowing 2 hits. Brendan Rivoli now comes up, 2 outs in the inning. Rivoli is 1 for 2. He's reached base twice on a hit by pitch and is single in the 4th. First pitch on Rivoli is an off-speed outside. 1-0. The 2 highest scoring games for the Braves have both been against the Falmouth Commodores. A 10-2 win earlier in the season and now a 10-0 lead in this game. 1-0, Rivoli will foul it off and actually hits the light post.
There's the shot we were talking about right there.
Yeah, that's the one. It finally happens.
So now we just need someone to slice it around the foul pole and land it right in that trash can right behind it.
Oh, that would be something. That would be something if that happens. Wroblewski comes set. 2-0 on Rivoli. Off speed. Rivoli doesn't offer. The pitch is upstairs. It's now 3-0. Or 2-1, excuse me. Well, we were talking last night about having a seat on top of the gym over there. There haven't been any foul balls that way. Like anyone, if you're sitting on top of that gym, you wouldn't be getting any foul balls tonight. Whereas last night, you'd get about probably 10. 2-1, Rivoli, a little dunker over on the left field side. That ball will fall foul. And the count is now 2-2 with 2 outs. And Jared Poland at second. 10-0 lead for the Braves.
We won't get any foul balls over there tonight, but be able to watch, I think it's fair to say, maybe the best win of the season for this Braves team. 10-0 right now as it stands. Only having to get 6 more outs on defense before they're able to get out of here, go get some dinner, and watch the home run derby.
This could be a big one if the Braves can hold on to this 10-run lead. You never know. Second game against Hyannis got a little crazy. Braves having a 5-run lead in that one. 2-2 on Rivoli is outside, and the count now runs full 3-2.
3-2, 2 outs. Poland over at second base. And Brendan Rivoli is just a guy you really cheer for. Really, he's a real easy guy to get behind, real easygoing guy. Very respectful, very respectable. Just having some trouble finding it until now.
3-2, Rivoli sends a high fly ball to left center field. Blake Dunn moving to his right. He will put the glove up and make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning, but it's a 4-run bottom of the 7th, and the Braves now lead it 10-0. As we head to the top of the 8th, Carl Johnson will come on in relief with the Braves having a 10-0 lead. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Mac Lardner's night is done. 7 innings of scoreless baseball, only allowing 2 hits and striking out 8 in a Falmouth lineup that has 2 of the top 5 averages in the Cape Cod Baseball League. And Jordan, it doesn't look much better as now they face Carl Johnson.
KJ coming into the game. Carl Johnson So far on the season, he's got a 1-0 record, and his ERA is tied for the best in the league because it's zeros across the board, 0.00. Thrown 10 innings, 11 strikeouts. He's only given up 6 hits. We last saw him pitch 2 innings against Harwich back on July 5th. He gave up 2 hits, struck out 4, and of course, 0 earned runs. He is now the statistically lowest ERA on the team after Tyler Brocious gave up a couple runs his last time, but Carl Johnson out of Yukon, he is a machine.
He will face Taylor Smith, Stephen Moretta, and Jackson Coots. 6, 7, 8 batters in the Falmouth lineup that have only been able to get 2 hits, coming from Hayden Cantrell and Zach Deloach, the 2 players, the highest batting averages not only on the team, but 2 of the top batting averages in the Cape Cod Baseball League as well. Yeah, Smith steps in. First pitch is fouled off. Check that, and it'll be looks like a pinch hitter. (1-0) from Carl Johnson is inside. And it looks like it's going to be Tyler Ross. Has a 1-1 count. Taking over for Taylor Smith. He ends his night 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts after being the hero last night with a walk-off home run. The 1-1 is inside. Called strike, now 1-2. Ross with a 188 average, 16 at-bats on the season, 3 hits. As the 1-2 is low, chases Jackson Greer out of his position, now a 2-2 count.
And Carl Johnson, let's see, go straight for the strikeout here. Let's see if he lights up the radar here with the fastball.
The 2-2 is taken to right center field. That ball gets into the gap and gets all the way to the wall. Kyler Fedko chasing for it. Ross will stop at second. It's a leadoff double on Carl Johnson, just the 3rd hit of the game for the Commodores.
And that's rare right there. Ross really got a charge in that one. He got his 2-2 fastball, drove it into the right center field gap, and now Johnson in danger of giving up his first run of the season.
His first run of the season and possibly the first run of tonight's ball game. Stephen Moretta comes in, 2 groundouts. 1 to Cade Beloso at first and 1 back to Mac Lardner on the mound. Carl Johnson steps off. 10-0 lead for the Braves. They've scored in every inning except the bottom of the 6th and the bottom of the 2nd. And now we will have time called. Jackson Greer heads out to Johnson to discuss something. Carl Johnson, one of the more characters on this team, really livens things up. A more likable player coming from Yukon. Greer now heading back to the catcher's position.
Yeah, Carl Johnson always got a smile on his face. And it's even better as someone watching him as a fan of this Braves team to watch him really succeed.
First pitch to Moretta is a fastball down the middle. 0-1. Temperature cooling off a little bit, not as cold as it was last night. That was about a 59-degree game when it was over. A 3-hour and 40-minute contest. We have just reached the 2-hour mark in this one. Here's the 0-1 on Moretta. A breaking ball in the zone, and Carl Johnson is working now 0-2.
Yeah, good pitch there. And Johnson here, if he wants to keep his scoreless streak active here, he's thrown 10 innings without giving up a run, has to get a strikeout here, has to prevent Ross from going up to third base here.
It's Coots due up, who's 0 for 2, and then Tim Tawa. 0-2, Moretta takes a ball to right field, a high fly ball. Kyler Fedko moving right by the foul line. He'll put it away for the second out of the inning. Throw over to third as Tyler Ross tags on it. He slides into third safely. Check that, it's the first out of the inning. Fedko puts it away, but Ross now moves 90 feet from being the Commodores' first run as he tagged up on that fly ball.
Yeah, nice job there by Fedko. Tried to make the throw all the way from right field. Very Ichiro Suzuki-esque type of throw. And Cody Morris went to go cut it off, bounced off the tip of his glove, and Ross was able to slide in safely into third base. And now it's crunch time here for Johnson and Moretto.
Jackson Coots up with one out. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. Hits the door over on the high school, picked up by a young fan.
It was closing the door right there, Sam.
Closing the door? Did it really? Wow. Johnson comes set. And time called. Coots 0 for 2, a ground out in the third inning, a strikeout in the sixth. 0-1. Coots fouls it right back to us at the backstop. 0-2.
Didn't even flinch, Sam.
No, if that backstop wasn't there, right there.
Yeah.
I got it. Well, you talking about closing the door.
Yeah.
The Braves have really closed the door on the Commodores tonight.
Well, I think that the door was never open for them to close.
Yeah, you're right.
Mac Larner really shutting things down all night long.
0-2 pitch, got him looking. There's the first strikeout of the evening for Carl Johnson, who gives Jackson Coots a little stare down. 2 outs.
The best part is you could hear the Braves bullpen all the way from here, really hyping up their guy, Carl Johnson. They're yelling at their pitcher all the way from just behind the left field fence.
Tim Tawa now comes up 0 for 2. First pitch he sees from Carl Johnson is a strike on the upper part of the zone, 0-1. Tawa almost took one out of here on Lardner to left center field. Judd Fabian was there. Here's the 0-1 pitch on Tawa, and he fouls it back off. He's down to his final strike, 0-2.
I'd love to see Carl Johnson just go right at Tawa right here. Why not? Ace Adams, the pitching coach for the Braves, really loves when his pitchers go out and challenge the other hitters. Really love when they throw a fastball right down their throat. Let's see if he does it here.
0-2. A high fly ball that is moving foul right behind the press box. No sight of Tyler Brocious warming up. Now, I don't really see a need for him to warm up if Carl Johnson is the second pitcher that the Braves have used in this game already in the 8th inning. Brocious, the typical closer for the Braves. Teammates with Jackson Coots. 0-2 is low. Bounces away from Jackson Greer. Tyler Ross stays over at third. He didn't get a good jump on it. It's a 1-2 count on Tim Tawa, and the run is saved. Brocious with 4 saves on the season. Last time he pitched was against Harwich. Gave up the only 2 runs of the game. His first 2 runs given up this season. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off yet again, third base side, and hits the netting. We'll do it again, 1-2.
And the bullpen is really getting into it. They're kind of clapping their hands on the yellow line, kind of made out of like almost a PVC pipe-ish material, and you can almost hear it rattling from here.
1-2 pitch, Tawa fouls it off, and he stays alive, 1-2. 2 outs in the inning. Tyler Ross over at third for the Commodores. 10-0 lead for the Bourne Braves. And what is possibly their best game of the season. They've turned 10 hits into 10 runs. Falmouth only collecting 3 hits. Johnson comes set. The 1-2 pitch to Tawa is just a little low. Carl Johnson doesn't get the call. A fastball on that one, and evens up the count 2-2.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I think because Jackson Greer did not catch that ball cleanly, it popped right out of his glove. If he was able to catch it and stick it, it'd probably be called a strike.
2-2. Tawa sends it to right field. Fedko moving in. He'll put it away for the 3rd out of the inning, and the shutout is maintained. Carl Johnson gives off a leadoff double to Tyler Ross. He does not come home to score, and the Braves continue to lead 10-0. We head to the bottom half. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. New arm on the mound for the Falmouth Commodores. It's Sean Mullen out of UCLA, taking out Justin Robleski after 3 1/3.
Yeah, Sean Mullen, like you said, out of University of California, Los Angeles, came over out of just losing in the Super Regionals this year. A disappointing result for the Bruins so far in the season. 0-0 with 2.7 ERA. Only thrown 6 2/3 innings last time he was out. And he threw against Chatham. 2 innings, only giving up 1 hit. And tonight goes up against, looks like a pinch hitter here in Giovanni DiGiacomo.
DiGiacomo comes in for his first appearance of tonight's ball game. He'll take out Judd Fabian. Fabian will end hitless. 0 for 3. He reached base on a walk and an error. DiGiacomo shows bunt. He pulls it back and we'll watch strike 1 from Mullen. DiGiacomo, a .235 average so far in his summer stay. 4 for 17, 1 double. Here's the 0-1 pitch outside. It's 1-1. The last time he played was the second game against Hyannis on Sunday. I'll check that Saturday. 1 for 3 with a run scored and 2 strikeouts. From LSU, the rising sophomore. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Mullen. It's outside, and DiGiacomo is ahead 2-1.
And DiGiacomo struggling a little bit. Started out hot with a double, I believe, in his first ever game. As I peer out into the bullpen, I think I see a certain boat getting ready to warm up here, Sam.
2-1 low. 3-1. I'll have to see for myself. Looks like Tyler Brocious, the Braves closer. 3-1. Giacomo watches it outside, and it's a called strike. Home plate umpire Joe Peters calling it a little late, and the count now runs full 3-2.
Yeah, I was already marking it in the book when you said it there, Sam.
Payoff pitch to Giovanni DiGiacomo, and he sends it to left field. That ball will get down in front of Tim Tawa, the left fielder. It's a leadoff single for Giovanni DiGiacomo, his 5th hit on the season.
And this is a great opportunity for everybody in the lineup to really turn around their fortunes, as it looks like on deck, where we have Nick Bruiser, who's going to get in on the action. But right now it's Xavier Warren, and he finally found a hit, going 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored in this one.
Runner on first, and Giovanni DiGiacomo, 10-0 lead for the Braves on now make that 11 hits. First pitch to Xavier Warren is a swinging strike. Falls behind 0-1. Warren is 1 for 3, a single in the 7th. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter matchup. 0-1 is outside, 1-1. Xavier Warren, the pinch hitter, has bat from both sides tonight. Here's the 1-1 from Sean Mullen. Xavier Warren sends a little chopper over toward the Braves dugout in foul territory. He's now behind 1-2. Tyler Brocious is tied for the league lead with Jeffrey Prommel of Orleans, both with 4. Brocious has the lower ERA at 2.46, Prommel at 2.57. 1-2. Warren watches it low. The count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Brocious, should he come on, this would not be a safe situation with the Bravos up by 10 runs here. But it's always fun to watch that guy pitch. Definitely a fan favorite for sure.
Mullen comes set. 2-2. Warren watches the fastball outside. 3-2. The Braves put 1 run in the bottom of the first, 1 in the bottom of the third, 2 in the bottom of the fourth, another 2 in the bottom of the fifth, and the dagger, 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the payoff pitch from Mullen. That ball falls low, and Xavier Warren is now on. Runners on first and second with Nick Bruiser, the pinch hitter, coming up.
And I mentioned this is an opportunity for everybody to kind of right all their wrongs, so to speak, really have a chance to turn around their slumps. And we have time called here as they're going to have a meeting up on their mound. Still nobody out in this bottom of the 8th. And Bruiser having an opportunity to pick up another RBI.
Bruiser, a 192 average, 5 for his first 26, joining this game a little late, or this team a little late. From Stanford, a rising junior. 1 RBI, 2 doubles, 9 strikeouts on the season so far. His last game was last night, where he went 0 for 2 with a strikeout against the Kettleers. Mound visit has ended. Nobody out in the inning. Giovanni DiGiacomo at second. Xavier Warren at first. A good game all around for the Bourne Braves, who travel to Cotuit tomorrow. A team that they are 0-2 against. A tough 8-6 loss last night to the Kettleers. Bruiser into the box. Here's the first pitch from Sean Mullen. And Bruiser rockets that ball down the left field line. That ball is just curving foul. Nick Bruiser gave that ball quite a ride. It just wasn't quite fair, a few feet foul, but wow, that was a rocket to left field.
Yeah, foul ball home run for sure. That was a no-doubter if it stayed fair. Just curved a little bit too much right at the end. It's a shame for Bruiser. See if he can find another pitch to hit here. Still early in this at-bat, only trailing 0-1.
Mullen stares down his catcher, Troy Claunch. Hands meet at the chest. Knees bent a little bit. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Bruiser instead takes it to right field. That ball bounces in right field. Giovanni DiGiacomo is held up over at third. Bruiser gets his first hit of the game in a pinch hit appearance. And the Braves have loaded the bases for Kyle Hess, who will be pinch hitting for Jimmy Glowenke.
Yeah, this is very much so. Let's get as many people in on the action as we can. The outcome of this game, not in doubt at all. Kyle Hess now with an opportunity to brace his juice here. Go out, get yourself a base knock, and find a couple of runners coming home.
Hess got a big base knock against Cotuit last night. Scored a run in a pinch hit appearance there. 194 average on the season so far. Bases are loaded. Here's the first pitch from Mullen. It's high and outside to Hess. 1-0. No arms warming up in the Cotuit bullpen. This is Sean Mullen's inning to get out of. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Kyle Hess check swing. He did go around on a fastball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kyle Hess on the season has 1 RBI, 6 for 31. Has found his role as really a pinch hitter in these late game situations. 1-1. Hess, a hard swinging strike. Swung that with one hand. He's now down in the count 1-2.
Yeah, way behind on the fastball there from Mullen. And in danger of striking out here. Let's see if Hess can battle back here from 1-2.
Mullen steps off the mound. The Braves in fourth place in the Western Division could gain some ground on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, who did not play today. 1-2 pitch on Kyle Hess got him swinging at a ball in the dirt for the first out of the inning and the first strikeout for Sean Mullen on the mound.
Yeah, first base occupied. So the drop third strike rule not in effect quite yet. Jackson Greer coming up, and I said this last time with an opportunity to find himself a hit. He walked last time, came around to score. Be big for his confidence here if he's able to find a base hit and get a couple RBIs.
The strikeout to Hess, just the third strikeout against the Bourne Braves lineup tonight. Justin Wrobleski got 2, and Sean Mullen with 1. First pitch to Jackson Greer, a breaking ball that slides right in the zone, 0-1. Greer reached base on a walk in the 7th. He's 0 for 3 today. He's been hitting his foul balls now in the right field or the left field line. A big pull hitter. The 0-1 pitch from Mullen. Greer watches a pitch inside, bounces in front of Troy Claunch. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Braves catcher.
The Braves catcher who has found his home here in a Braves uniform this summer.
1-1. And Jackson Greer gives that ball a ride to left field. Blake Dunn is moving back. He'll leap up. That ball's gone. It's a grand slam for Jackson Greer. The Braves put 14 runs on the Falmouth Commodores, and Jackson Greer, who hadn't got a hit all game, comes up huge in the bottom of the 8th inning.
As close to perfect as a game as you could have hoped for. Load them up for Jackson Greer, and he will clear them out. A grand slam. All Dunn could do in center field is watch it go over his head and over the fence. What a game for this Braves team. 14 runs. This is unbelievable.
That is the exclamation mark in this now 14-run performance. The first pitch to Cody Morissette is high and outside. A 1-0 count on Morissette. The most runs scored by the Braves so far this season. 1-0 was cut on and missed. 1-1. Greer, that's his second home run of the season, his first with the Braves, and both of his home runs have been right here at Doran Park. He hit one for Harwich against Josh Culliver down the left field line. 1-1, Morissette watches high and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Braves have 6 batters with an RBI as the 2-1 is chopped out and missed on a high fastball. 2-2 now to Morissette. 6 out of the now 12 batters that appeared in this lineup have at least 1 RBI in the game so far. The 2-2 is fouled back at the backstop for Morissette. And what's crazy is that it is a 14-run performance, but Falmouth has only used 3 pitchers. There is an arm warming up in the bullpen right now for the Falmouth Commodores. 2-2, Morissette, a high fly ball going foul behind the press box. Almost a nice catch. And the army of kids.
Watch out.
Wow. Running over to get it on the grass slope. It's finally picked up by a Braves bat boy. That might be a little bit of collusion.
Yeah, isn't he supposed to be working right now? How much is he getting paid?
I don't know. 2-2. Mullen just missing the zone. 3-2. Well, how much were the vendors, the food vendors that we saw at Hyannis?
Probably not enough.
Yeah, you're right. 3-2 on Cody Morissette. It's inside, and Morissette's now over to first with a walk.
And Mullen right now can't buy an out. Here comes another pinch hitter. Harvey Shapiro really filling up the stat sheet or the scorebook tonight. Jake McKenzie stepping in now.
Jake McKenzie will take over for Kyler Fedko. As Fedko goes 1 for 4 with an RBI double in the 5th inning. McKenzie will see his first at-bat of tonight's ball game. And it's a check swing on the first pitch. 0-1. Jake McKenzie, 263 average. 1 for 2 in his last game against Catuit with a stolen base as well. The 0-1 is low from Mullen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Braves scoring in every inning except 2. A big explosion after 3 straight losses. 1-1. McKenzie, little chopper, third base side going foul. He's now down 1-2.
Man, it's interesting to know Tyler Brocious has stopped warming up. So I believe this is going to be Carl Johnson's game to finish.
1-2. McKenzie fouls it off again on the third base side. Well, with a 14-run lead, doesn't really make sense to send your main closer out there.
I mean, to be fair, with a 10-run lead, I don't think it really makes sense for you.
Yeah, I mean, 10 runs and 14 runs, totally different.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's really different.
It was within reach at 10.
Yeah, you're right. 1-2. McKenzie, little chopper that comes back and hits him. He's staying alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jared Poland is on deck, so he will stay in the order. One out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Cody Morissette over at first. 14 runs in the game. Here's the 1-2 pitch on McKenzie. It's inside. He fouls it off again. During the pregame, Jordan, me and you were hanging out watching this team during batting practice, and it really didn't seem like a team that had just lost 3 games. They were having fun, laughing with each other, a pretty loose mood. At 1-2, it bounces way before the plate. Mullen now evens up the count 2-2. It just seemed like a fun environment. These kids were having fun. They had put the last 3 games behind them, and tonight it's really showing.
Yeah, that's in baseball. You can never really get too high or too low. This is a game of failure. After all, the best players only hit about 30% of the time.
2-2. McKenzie watches a fastball outside, and the count now runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And it's a shame that with the score at 14-0, it's easy to understate Mac Lardner's performance, but this is his game that he won here. Heads up over there. Watch out.
That was a foul ball hit hard over to Jackson Greer, who was in his catching uniform by the Braves dugout. Luckily, everyone's all right. Jake McKenzie remains in the at-bat. It's still a 3-2 count. Luckily, Jackson Greer had all the padding on as well.
Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and watch this next pitch just in case.
Payoff,
Watch
McKenzie right back over, and I think Jackson Greer fielded that one. He did. He fielded it with the catcher's mitt. Puts that ball in the back pocket. He says, I'll keep that as a souvenir. I'll take my grand slam ball, and I'll take the foul ball, too.
There it is.
Well, I think that's a great point, Joran. At 14 runs on the board, you can't overthink what Mac Lardner did on the mound tonight. Payoff to Jake McKenzie is another walk. A fastball high. That sends Cody Morissette to second. Jake McKenzie, his pinch hit appearance with a walk. He gets over to first. And we'll have a mound visit with Sean Mullen on the mound. You have to think this might be a new pitcher. Jeff Trundy, the manager for the Commodores, heading out on the mound. Mullen struggling here, and they'll bring in a new pitcher in the bottom of the 8th with already 4 runs across the plate off of Jackson Greer's grand slam. We'll take a quick break. 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning, or excuse me, no outs, bottom of the 8th inning. No, I was right the first time.
Yeah.
1 out, 1 out, long game. 1 out,
yeah.
Bottom of the 8th inning, 14-0 lead for the Braves. We'll be right back. Caleb Worster is the new pitcher, the lefty out of UConn. will be facing Jared Poland, with runners on first and second for the Braves after Jackson Greer hits a grand slam, and the Braves put 14 runs up in this game.
Yeah, and Worcester out of Yukon really being sent in here to clean up the dirty work. Opportunity for him to get some work in here. Obviously, there's no real question in the outcome of this game. It's 14-0 right now. Worcester with a 2.84 ERA and 1-1 record. Last two against Cotuit back on July 4th in a 2-inning game. They didn't give up a single hit or run in that game. And they do much of the same here to get out of this inning without surrendering more runs.
Here's Jared Poland. Comes up for the 5th time tonight. Will face Worcester for the first time. He fouls off the first pitch. Poland is 2 for 4. An RBI single in the 4th inning. He came around to score in that inning. And a double in the 7th. A long bottom of the 8th inning where the Braves have scored 4 runs on a Jackson Greer grand slam. Worcester comes set. Here's the 0-1 pitch on Poland. It's right back up the middle. Cantrell is there. He fields it, underhand toss to second to throw to first, and it's a 4-6-3 double play that gets the Commodores out of the inning. But a Jackson Greer grand slam to left center field makes this a 14-0 ball game. Carl Johnson will be on the mound to try and end this one for the Braves. You're watching it on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. $14-0 lead for the Bourne Braves. They're looking to end it. Carl Johnson will be the man on the mound for the Braves, pitching in his 2nd inning after Mac Lardner goes 7, allowing 2 hits, 8 strikeouts. Johnson will be trusted to end this one with a 14-0 lead. And leading it off will be a pinch hitter for the Falmouth Commodores. It'll be Kevin Kendall. He's taking out Hayden Cantrell.
And some defensive changes here for the Bravos. Now in center field is Giovanni DiGiacomo, Kyle Hess in right, and Nick Bruiser replaces Cade Beloso over at first.
Just 3 hits for the Commodores in this game. You'll hear from Mac Lardner shortly after this game concludes. A post-game interview with a great pitching performance out of Mac Lardner. First pitch from Carl Johnson is a swinging strike to Kevin Kendall. Kendall out of UCLA. Rising junior. Played 9 games for the Commodores. He's hit 185. 5 hits, 1 double. 0-1 is inside. A ball and a strike. Cantrell ends his night 1 for 3. Got one of only 3 hits. The leadoff batter. He actually singled. 1-2 now as Johnson fires a fastball down the middle. 1-2.
Yeah, and up until the 7th inning, Cantrell was the only hit of the ball game for the Commodores.
18 straight batters retired for Mac Lardner. 1-2. Inside pitch. 2-2. You want to get a middle of the game score update?
Yeah, let's load them up here.
2-2 is skied high back behind the press box, and Kendall remains in the at-bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So Harwich picks up a much-needed win over YD, 4-2 in that one. That's a gone final. Cotuit, check this out, Sam. 5-1 over the first-place Wareham Gateman right now over at Spillane Field. And Chatham still with that 3-0 lead over Orleans.
2-2 is cut on and fouled back into the glove of Jackson Greer that he just misses. Pop out of the glove. Still a 2-2 count.
And if he hangs on to that pitch, it's a strikeout for Carl Johnson and the first out. Braves only 3 outs away from the best win of the season, I think, by far.
Everything came together in a big way. You had the best pitching performance of the year, the best hitting performance of the year, and everything in between was done right. 2-2 pitch. Kendall fouls it off toward the Falmouth dugout.
Now, I'm not a mathematician, but I think best plus best equals best.
E equals MC squared?
More or less. Yeah,
okay.
More or less.
4 + 6 + 3 = 2.
Well, we've seen a couple of those tonight, yeah.
We have
seen a couple of those tonight.
That's right. 2-2 is a hanging breaking ball from Johnson just high. Now a 3-ball and 2-strike count. We actually got the chance to walk with Carl Johnson in the 4th of July parade, Sandwich Parade. Here's the payoff. A called strike 3 on Kevin Kendall.
I didn't even realize it yet.
Continues to think it's a walk. He stops about halfway between home and first. And shocked that that was not a walk. Called strike 3. It's the second strikeout for Carl Johnson. 1 out in the top of the ninth.
He was literally halfway down the first baseline when it dawned on him that, wait a minute, my teammates aren't cheering for me right now.
It's another pinch hitter, Austin Langworthy. First pitch he sees is a check swing from Carl Johnson. 0-1. Langworthy from Florida. The 0-1 outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Teammates with Judd Fabian. A 2A player. He's batted in 13 games. 143 average. The 1-1 on the inside corner for strike 2. Carl Johnson has him down 1-2.
And Johnson is having a very Carl Johnson performance right now. And what does that mean? Well, he's dominating out there.
1-2. Outside. 2-2. He knows how to pitch.
That's what Joaquin would say about him, yeah.
It would.
Joaquin Murrieta, MLB scout liaison.
He's got a fun job. 2-2. Got him swinging. And that's 2 straight strikeouts for Carl Johnson. And just 1 more, and he will close out this game. There is another pinch hitter, Barron Radcliffe, the rising junior from Georgia Tech, will come in. Radcliffe, a 143 average for the Commodores, playing in 10 games. 4 for 28 on the season. First pitch from Carl Johnson is a fastball outside for ball 1. Radcliffe swinging way out in front of it. Evens up this count, a ball and a strike.
Joaquin Murrieta also with one of the most interesting family lineages.
That's right. 1-1. Cut on back to the backstop. Father was an executive producer of Wizards of Waverly Place.
I remember that show.
Yeah, I do too.
Disney Channel is a classic Disney Channel show.
I do too.
He's at Selena Gomez's Sweet 16, which I'm not sure. That's got to be a pretty exclusive list.
Yeah, you'd think. Radcliffe flies it up. This will end it. Bruiser is under it at first. He calls it off. He gets under it, and the ball falls into the glove. That's it. The Bourne Braves have their best victory of the season. They beat the Falmouth Commodores 14-0 here at Doran Park.
And we mentioned this earlier. It cannot be understated what a pitching performance this was out of Mac Lardner. I know the scoreboard says 14-0. He could have given up a couple runs and it would still been great, but you don't retire 18 people in a row on accident. He was just masterful out there on the mound. He has to be, I think, the Cape League Pitcher of the Week, and I think he might have just secured himself a spot in the Cape League All-Star Game.
An all-star worthy performance from Mac Lardner and a fantastic performance from this lineup, exploding for 14 runs, 13 hits, and a completely productive game against Jordan, a hot team coming into this game. They won 5 of the past 6.
Yeah, including that walk-off last night, and they're threatening for that Western Division lead. They were only 2 points behind Wareham, 1 point behind Catuit, and the Braves really put a stop on all that. And more importantly, Sam, the Braves create 5 points of separation between themselves and last place Hyannis.
Now, we know this team has been extremely inconsistent throughout the season. A tough loss last night against Catuit where you lose 8-6, but it finally seems like the hitting is coming together. Now, the pitching has struggled in the past couple games, but when Mac Lardner delivers a fantastic outing, everything comes together from this game. Jordan, how can they build on this throughout this stretch where they have 13 games in 13 days?
Well, this is a good start. You mentioned that the hitting has been there. They scored at least 4 runs in their past 3 games, and they tripled that number here today with 14 runs. It was a real impressive game. And going up against the now first place Katuitt, assuming they hang on to their lead, Harrison Murkowski most likely on the mound tomorrow. It's going to take great pitching. We know how dangerous Katuitt can be with the bats in their hand and some great hitting like we saw tonight. It doesn't have to necessarily be 14 runs, but it's going to be 4 to 5 runs, and Murkowski is going to have to really limit that Katuitt offense. Last time, the Braves gave up 14 hits to Katuitt last time they were at Lowell Park.
We'll hear from Mac Lardner shortly, the winning pitcher for the Bourne Braves, only allowing 2 hits and striking out 8. But for now, for Jordan Palacio, I'm Sam Wiederhaft. The Braves win it 14-0 over the Falmouth Commodores here at Doran Park. We'll see you next time tomorrow against Katuitt at 5 o'clock at Lowell Park. Have a great night, everybody. Mac Lardner coming on soon. Welcome back to Durham Park. The Bourne Braves get a big 14-0 victory alongside winning pitcher Mac Lardner. Mac, let's focus on the team first. What's the feeling around that team after a win like that?
Oh, it's huge. We were struggling coming in, and a win like that can just flip the switch just like that. We got a lot of confidence going into tomorrow, and yeah, things are good.
Hold on, let me just put that right up by your mouth. There we go. All right, I'm going to start it over because – all right. Welcome back to Durham Park. 14-0 victory for the Bourne Braves alongside winning pitcher Mac Lardner. Mac, after a win like that, what is the feeling around this team? What kind of win? What kind of way does this team feel after a win like that?
It's huge. We're kind of struggling right now coming into today, but came out, put a lot of runs up on the board, played great defense, and just a win like that will flip the switch for the season. We're excited to get back out there tomorrow.
And let's focus on your start. 7 innings pitched. That's the longest a Braves pitcher has gone this season. 8 strikeouts, only giving up 2 hits, and 18 retired batters in a row. What was working for you on the mound?
Really everything. My fastball was putting it where I wanted to. Ability to throw it inside, keep them honest, up in a way, obviously, and then my changeup. I could throw it when I was behind in the count. I think just staying unpredictable was the biggest key.
On a rank of best starts in your career, where would you rank tonight's game?
That was up there. I mean, we're in the Cape, and this is the best competition around, not even close. So you just kind of just take a deep breath and realize that you're here for a reason. I know I can pitch here. I just wanted to show people that. But yeah, it's definitely up there.
For a pitching staff that really last week was struggling, the hitting was there finally, and the pitching was struggling. What do you think a game like this from you and Carl Johnson can do to pick the rest of your pitching staff up as we continue through this season?
I just think saving the bullpen is the biggest thing. Now that we're playing every day, there's not as many rainouts. We're going to need the bullpen. We're going to, use the bullpen a lot. So me and Carl pitching, just using 2 pitchers today, I think is big going forward. Carl's my roommate, actually. So that was good. I like starting it, and he did a great job closing it.
How's Carl's roommate?
He's funny. He keeps it light. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Now, congratulations on the start, Mac. The Bourne Braves get the victory 14-0 here at Durham Park. That'll be it alongside Jerome Palacio, Mac Lardner. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock against the Catuit Kettleers.